Hey guys, how are you doing today? I see you guys in the YouTube chat already. Hello, Chris. Hi, Dweezil. How y'all doing today? Happy Tuesday. Today we're gonna cover a quick, short court appearance with Donna Adelson, and then afterwards we're gonna watch her daughter, Wendi Adelson, testify in the stand during her brother's testimony. Oh no, testimony during her brother's trial. That's what I meant to say. Hi, Lily. How are you doing today? How's it going? It's going good. I still have the lingering coughs, but my chest and like the side still hurts. I think it's because like every time I cough, I keep re-injuring and like messing up my muscles or something. But it's so hard because like sometimes I gotta sneeze, Sometimes I'm laughing. Sometimes I got the coughs, and it's so annoying. So that's still hurting. I think maybe after a week, because it's already been a week now. Maybe after like another week, maybe I will go to the doctors and see if there's just like something that I like severely messed up. Maybe I don't know, man. It's freaking annoying. Hi, Brandon. How are you doing today? Hello. How have you been? How's it going? A pulmonologist? What is that, like a heart person? Pulmonologist. Respiratory system. Oh, because I initially I thought it was like my lungs, but it just feels like it's like muscle related. Like it doesn't feel like it's deep enough. It feels like on the exterior level. So I'm gonna give it another week, and then yeah, maybe I'll go see a pulmonologist. I think I could just self refer myself to a specialist without having to go to my primary care provider. Oh God, that's such a nightmare story. Would you like some drinking tea with some lemon? Oh please, I will take some tea. I love tea. I'm a tea person. Hi Will, how are you doing today? Just had sashimi and sushi. I'm content. Oh, that sounds so good. Yummy. Hi Morton. It's going okay. We're doing good. Guys, I have a new true crime video that I posted. It's like a true crime storytelling format. And yeah, guys, check it out. It's about this case that I got absorbed in within the past couple weeks, and it's just been bothering me. And I was like, you know what? I got to make a video about this because I just want to talk about it. I just want to share it with you guys. So there's a new true crime video out. It's a story about a woman named Suzanne Morphew who went missing back in 2020, and her remains were actually found about like 2 months ago. So very intriguing story, and I don't know. It's just there's just many parts of it. It just like it just breaks my heart. But yeah, a new video's up. You saw it? Yeah, because initially I was like, dude, this video is it's getting close to 1 hour, and I'm like, man, I don't know if people are gonna watch like a 1 hour video. But then I did a poll in my community thing, and it seems like people don't mind 1 hour plus videos for true crime format. But there is another video that I really, really want to do, and it's a trial that just happened, and they didn't live stream the actual trial, but I really, really want to make a video about it because that case was also wild to me as well. Hello, perfect timing. I was literally just watching videos from Charlie Adelson's trial and they got this notification. Yay, come and join us. Hello, hello. So yeah, today we are going to cover Donna Adelson. She makes her first court appearance. Now, if you guys remember Donna Adelson, when she was first apprehended at the airport, she had a one-way ticket to Vietnam. Her and Harvey were making their way over to Vietnam. They arrested her at the airport. They picked her up though because they don't want her running over to Vietnam and stuff. It might be hard to get her back here. So she made her first appearance with a judge that actually went viral a couple years ago, and we saw Donna Adelson rolling her eyes. It looked like she was rolling her eyes at the judge. So let's see if Donna Adelson's gonna roll her eyes again in this court hearing. So we have a new judge here, and Donna Adelson wearing red right there. This is from Court TV. Just shout out to them for posting this. Hi Nicole, how are you? Hello. How's it going? So the Wendi testimony is about 2 hours long. I'm gonna speed up a little bit, and yeah, I'm just gonna get started. Honestly. Oh, is my audio low? Oh, it might be. Hold on. Is it? Oh, it is. It is. Thank you. Oh no. I'll have to fix that when I. Okay, it should be good now. Hello, testing 1 2 3. Is it much better now? Type 1 in chat if my audio is better now. Type 2 in chat if the audio still sucks. It should be better now. I had all of my filters and everything off. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I would have got this entire stream without knowing my audio was messed up. I don't know what happened. Usually, if I restart my computer, sometimes my audio gets fudged up, but I didn't restart my computer though. Although my monitor is broken, I have a stupid white line just going straight through my monitor right now. And I think I accidentally like sort of unplugged it, but now it's just broken. And I don't know. Oh my god, something loud surprising. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Adjust your audio. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hi, Moondog. How's it going? How are you? Hello. Okay, we got some one. All right, got the ones in. Thank you for telling me. Who was that told me? Was it Bex? Bex, thank you so much for pointing that out because I would have been molding if my audio was just low the entire time. Okay. All right, we got this. So let's start with Mrs. Donna Adelson. She's in her 70s, and this is a grandma right here. And let's see what she says. Or not. I don't know. I don't think she's really going to talk much, actually. I think it's probably just going to be the judge. Oh, that's loud. What y'all think? How does Donna look in red?
All rise. Court's now in session. The Honorable Jason Jones presiding.
Got the new judge here. Hello, Judge. Can't see your name plaque.
Douglas Office in Florida.
Pam Mel with the Public Defender's Office.
So, do you guys hear that? I think Donna Adelson has a public defender. Why does she have a public defender? Doesn't she have like a lot of money? And how does she not already have a lawyer on retainer just in case things were to go down? Especially since her son, Charlie Adelson, was convicted like 2 weeks ago.
Defender's Office.
Looks like we have Miss Donna Adelson in the chair. Good morning, Miss Adelson. This is Judge Jones. You are here, first appearance on case number 2023 CF 3226. You are charged with 1 count of murder, 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder, and 1 count of solicitation to commit murder. I see that we have your attorney with us here on Zoom. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Marisol Descalzo on behalf of Donna Adelson.
Mr. Scalzo. So this was an arrest that was done by...
Real? I thought she said public defender. I thought that's how she announced herself. That's her lawyer that's on retainer, just not a good lawyer. Was she also working on the Charlie Adelson case as well? Hi, KK Dot. How are you doing today? Wait, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. Hold on. Am I hearing things?
The attorneys can please announce themselves for the record.
Douglas Office in Florida.
Pam Mel with the Public Defender's Office.
So it looks like we have Miss Donna Adelson in the...
Oh, someone else name is Pam. Pam is from the Public Defender's Office. Okay, so someone from state of Florida, Public Defender's Office, and then I think her name is Marisol.
Chair. Good morning, Miss Adelson. This is Judge Jones. You are here, first appearance on case number 2023
I'm glad we
CF
rewinded that.
3226. You are charged with 1 count of murder, 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder, and 1 count of solicitation to commit...
Yes, it's Marisol. Okay, you're right. You're probably right. Okay. Because I was like, she just got a public defender? I'm confused.
murder.
You're
I
right,
see
Scott.
that we have your attorney with us here on Zoom. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Marisol Descalzo on behalf of Donna Adelson.
Okay. Hi, Marisol.
Mr. Scalzo. So this was an arrest that was done by warrant. PC has already been found. I have reviewed the PC warrant. State, what is your recommendation for bond?
I believe this is a grand jury indictment, Judge.
So he said, state, what is your recommendation for the bond? Let's talk about the grand jury indictment.
The true bill indicated there was a no bond on count 1.
No bond.
The murder in first degree, $25,000 bond set on counts 2 and 3. Obviously, no contact with the victim's family. No contact, I suspect, also any co-defendants previously charged with the state or witnesses listed in the probable cause.
Okay, so audio is pretty hard to hear, but no contact with co-defendants, no contact with witnesses, no contact with people who were previously charged. So that means no contact with Charlie Adelson, because she's been having phone calls with Charlie Adelson, lots of communication. So no contact with Catherine McManois, the 2 hitmen, any of the witnesses here. Probably even with her daughter Wendi as well, because Wendi was a witness in the previous one, but we'll see what happens with Wendi next. And yeah, and I wonder if there's no contact. Okay, let me just keep listening.
Affidavit.
Mr. Scalzo?
Your Honor, we would stipulate to no bond at this time
Yeah, no
without
bond.
prejudice and the right to revisit with Judge Everett, which is the judge assigned to the case.
So, Ms. Adelson, at this time, you're being held with no bond on count 1. Your bond will remain $25,000 on count 2 and $25,000 on count 3. As a condition of your bond, you'd have no contact with the victim's family. You'd have no contact.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. So she's held a no bond, but no contact with the victim's family. I wonder if that includes. I don't know if that includes her grandkids, because the victim's family could technically consider her grandchildren. Like, this is a family that's like meshed together. So I don't know if that includes her grandchildren or not, but her grandchildren are under the care of her daughter, Wendi Adelson. So maybe not. I don't know. That's just something I was just curious about.
Contact with any co-defendants and no contact with any witnesses that are listed in the probable cause affidavit. Do you understand those conditions?
I do, Your Honor.
Oh, no witnesses on the probable cause affidavit, which we read, by the way. I think, is that video up on my YouTube channel? We read that. So if you guys haven't seen the probable cause affidavit, we spent like an hour reading it. And I don't know why I read it when my lungs were like so messed up that day. It was so hard to read without coughing. Yeah, we're doing live on YouTube and on Twitch right now. So yesterday I played games on Twitch, you know, and now today we're doing both. No, both. That's what I was wondering, Peach Pie. I was like, does it include the boys as well? Or maybe not? But I mean, technically, she probably shouldn't be speaking to Wendi as well, right? I think no contact with like any of her family members, except for Harvey, maybe, because I don't think Harvey's name has really been brought up. Hi, Halsey. How are you doing today? Timber.
That's it for this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's it.
That's all we heard from Donna Adelson.
Short and sweet, but it is the first appearance of Donna Adelson there inside of the court. And you heard there, she has no bond on that first top count of first.
All right, we only have 5 minutes left on this video. Let's just listen to the rest of it. Did you know that there's a phenomenon where people go to professions that are close to their name? Judge, dentist is named Dennis. Yeah, so like I remember back then we had a meme where we would just call Dennis dentist. And people were like, oh, he's a dentist? I'm like, oh yeah, he's a dentist.
Degree murder, and on the other two counts, conspiracy to commit murder, solicitation to commit murder, all of this of her ex-son-in-law, Dan Markell. She's being held on a $25,000 bond. Let's bring in to help us break all this down that has happened so far. Trial attorney Wendi Patrick is with us. So good to see you this morning,
another
Wendi.
Wendi here.
It's a short hearing, but this case is huge in terms of Donna Adelson now facing charges after so many years of so many other defendants. I want to pick your brain, though, on what they said about no contact. No contact with Charlie, which is her son who's been convicted, that she talks to a lot, but also no contact with the victim's family. Do you think that's going to include her grandchildren, which are the sons of the victim in this case?
Well,
they think through a lot of that when they craft these no contact orders. And I do have to say, you know, the circumstances for Donna have changed. She and I are officially wearing the same color this morning, except her orange jumpsuit does not reflect Thanksgiving, but the fact that she's finally in custody. That changes the game in terms of who she can talk to, who she can't, because remember, that's a part of the
Wait, is that orange? That looks like red to me. Maybe it's just the camera. Hi, Joe. Demon Slayer is trash. Oh, redeem for 1,000. I don't know, man. Wendi might also be booking a ticket to Vietnam as well.
process, the pretrial process, and you just heard it spelled out. There's nothing like plans to flee with a one-way ticket to speed up the timeline. That's exactly what happened in this case, is that one-way ticket to Vietnam really made everybody move a lot quicker than I believe she was expecting, even though, you know, there are some people that believe that should have happened a long time ago. So even before Charlie's trial. So there's a lot going around now that would really motivate her to play ball and play by the rules, especially since now that timeline is being moved up.
And was she on like a no-fly list or something? I guess.
Around now that would really motivate her to play ball and play by the rules, especially since now that timeline is being moved up.
Yeah, let's talk about that ticket to Vietnam, because that may change things for the worse for her. We know when Charlie Adelson was arrested last year, he then asked for an Arthur hearing, which is specific to Florida, where he was asking for bond, and he was able to argue the points of the case in front of the judge so that he could get bond. He didn't have a situation where he had tried to get away. He was denied it, but I wonder if this makes it almost impossible for Donna Adelson.
Oh, wow. Charlie Adelson was able to get bond? I actually didn't know that.
Adelson to get any type of bond pending her trial, because she was literally in the airport trying to get out of town and caught on jail phone calls with her son saying, I'm trying to wrap up things, get things in order, put money in trust, because essentially I am getting out of town.
Yeah, you know, being a flight risk is one of the main things, besides being a danger to the community, that a judge will consider in deciding the terms and conditions of bond, whether or not there can be bond, whether or not that's even possible. And of course, you know, you've got a conglomeration of factors that makes it very difficult for a judge to say anything but no bond in a case like this, where you have Donna Adelson, where according to the charges, she's a danger to the community. According to her behavior, she's a flight risk. According to the statements you just cited to her son, there are indications that she's not coming back. You know, one way.
Dude, if Donna Adelson, because apparently there's another judge that's assigned to the case, so it's not the judge that we just saw just now. But if Donna Adelson gets out on bond, oh my God, I feel like we're going to lose it. She going to pull a freaking Caitlin Armstrong. Like I said, man, Donna Adelson might run to like Costa Rica, get plastic surgery, or maybe go to Vietnam, get plastic surgery, and then like get all fit and shit. So if she ever gets caught again, she'll have like the endurance to outrun the cops. I don't know, man. Caitlin Armstrong all the way. That's the person that I want to do the story about next, because the Caitlin Armstrong thing is fucking wild. Okay, it's crazy.
ticket is inherently suspicious in and of itself. Add to that the other factors we have here, and it's not a surprise that the judge would have the statements and that he did, and also not a surprise that the defense attorney would concede what you just heard conceded in court.
And a lot of people have asked about co-defendants, because we know the co-defendants in this case would be her son, would be the two hitmen and the one in-between person, the ex-girlfriend of her son, Catherine McManawa. They all would be co-defendants. Not sure if her husband or her daughter, who have been under this cloud of suspicion, sometimes listed in the indictment as unindicted co-conspirators, that they would be considered co-defendants because they have not been charged. Wendi Adelson, no charges against her. Harvey Adelson, who was there at the airport with her, we understand from the reporting of the Sun Sentinel, he didn't take that flight to continue on to
How old is Harvey Adelson? Do you guys know off the top of your head?
Vietnam. But Wendi, what happens next for Donna Adelson? Now that we've seen her appear, what do you think is likely going to be happening? We heard Judge Everett is actually the same judge who was on her son's case, is going to be presiding over this case.
Well, there's a judge that has a lot of knowledge about the case, about the facts, and also about the facts about Donna that came out during the other trial. It's one thing to say that, an arrest is starting the process, but now it's quite another to try to figure out what that looks like. There are motions that will be filed by both sides. I mean, there's so many pretrial motions that are possible in any venue, and those will be worked through first. Then they'll set a briefing schedule, and then eventually they'll set a schedule.
100, he looks like. I don't know what he looks like. I have no idea. I don't think have I seen his picture before? We had that chart of like the hitman, Charlie Adelson, the ex-girlfriend, Dead Markel, but I don't know if Harvey was Harvey on there? I don't remember.
Court appearances moving forward. But you brought up something very interesting when you asked me about co-defendants, because that's a conversation that any prosecutor's office has and any law enforcement agency has very early on to determine who is best used potentially as a witness versus who is a co-defendant. And that's especially relevant, whereas here you have a charge that includes conspiracy.
Yeah, so I wonder if they're going to try to use Wendi for Donna's trial as well. And then when the trial is over, I don't know, man, somehow build a case against Wendi. Like, I don't know. Wendi must be like scared shitless right now, dude. Everyone in her family just slowly going down. Wild. All right, this is what I want to watch next. Wendi Adelson on the stand right there, testifying on behalf of the state. She got immunity. What is it called again? There's this certain type of immunity that she got. It was what's the name of it? Something immunity. What was it? I don't remember. I could probably just Google it. Wendi Adelson immunity. There was like a specific name. What is the name? Limited immunity, granted use immunity. Limited immunity. Why isn't it popping up on Google? It's like a train wreck happening in slow motion. Yeah, very slow motion. Because remember, Dan Markel was murdered back in like 2014, dude. It's been 9 years. This is like the slowest motion ever. Wendi Adelson. This is going to be real. She was granted use immunity, meaning that nothing she says in open court can be used against her. Wendi Adelson repeatedly disputed the state's explicit claims and ever-present implications that Markel was killed for her benefit with her knowledge. I could have sworn there was another word for it, though. It was like something immunity. It was like even more specific. All right, whatever. I'll probably find it later on, and then maybe we'll make a video about it. We'll see. Harvey delivered the money with Donna. It's not that conspiracy. Yeah, I just don't know why Harvey hasn't really been pulled in as well, because it seems like Harvey was also involved in the conversations that they would have, and he was working at the dental practice where the checks are being cut from. Is he just gonna say that like, oh, I had nothing to do with the accounting department? I have no idea. That's all Donna's like department. All right, let's listen to this. Is Wendi Adelson right here. All right, so Wendi Adelson is the daughter of Donna Adelson, the woman who we just saw, 70-something-year-old woman who tried to run off to Vietnam. Her brother was recently convicted, and this is actually his trial. So this is from probably about like 3 weeks ago, 3-4 weeks. No, there's another word that I was looking for. Derivative use. I think that was the term I was looking for. I feel like it started with a D. Okay, it was derivative use, and derivative use immunity protects a witness from having the prosecution use their statements or evidence discovered from their statements against them. Okay, that was my understanding. Essentially, this produces the same result as if the witness invoked their Fifth Amendment privilege and did not testify at all. I think that was the term I was looking for. Derivative use immunity. Reminds me of calculus. God, my mouse is geeking out right now. All right, y'all. Let me bigger. Oh, it's weird. It's like the video is not. Is this a new YouTube thing? The video is not square. It's like a rounded square or rounded rectangle. Is that new? Is that new? Hi, Gwen. How are you doing today? Hello, hello. All right, y'all. For those of you guys who are on Twitch, on YouTube, thanks for joining us. We're going to watch Wendi Adelson's testimony. What's it say? She testifies in her brother's hitman conspiracy murder trial. Full testimony part 1. Is there 2 parts to this?
Part of the testimony you're about to give will be true. Amazing.
Oh, I gotta adjust the audio. Hold on.
Ma'am, please say and spell your name.
Wendi Adelson, Wendiadelson.
Where are you from, Ms. Adelson?
I'm originally from Coral Springs, Florida.
Wendy
Where
spelled
do you
with
live
an
now?
I.
I currently live in Miami.
How are you employed?
Now kind of part-time.
That's her brother.
I do asylum work and I fundraise for nonprofit organizations.
Are you an attorney?
By training, yes.
Okay. How long have you been a member of the Florida Bar?
Since I graduated and took the bar in 2006.
Yeah, so I didn't know before that. I didn't know she went to law school. So her husband, Dan Markel, also went to law school as well. And I was like, did she went to law school and she let her family do all this? Possibly even conspiring in it? Like, what is going on here, Wendi?
And are you here today pursuant to a subpoena?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And that subpoena confers use and derivative use immunity to you, so nothing you say can be used against you in the future.
That is correct.
Oh, okay, there we go.
That doesn't mean you have full immunity from prosecution, but nothing you say here and nothing derived from it could be used in that prosecution. Is that your understanding?
That is my understanding.
Did you know Daniel Markel?
Yes.
How did you know him?
We were married.
When did you meet Mr. Markel?
We met in the fall of my second year of law school. So fall
Can y'all
of
hear okay?
2004.
And where did you meet?
We met in Washington, D.C. He was working there, and I was looking into a summer job in Washington.
When did you get married?
In February of 2006.
And when did you live here in Tallahassee?
We lived in Tallahassee my third year of law school, so from August of 2005 until I think around maybe May or June of 2000.
Wait, so they were married for about 6-7 years. When did they divorce again? Was it in 2013 or 2012? Oh my God, they were together for like a while.
2006. And then we
Or
moved to
married.
Miami for a year because Danny was interested in working at the University of Miami. He did not get the job at University of Miami, and so we moved back here in 2007 and lived here until 2014.
Where were the two of you employed during the time you lived here in Tallahassee?
I was employed at the FSU Center for Human Rights, and Danny was employed at FSU Law School.
Were you both professors at FSU College of Law?
Yes.
Oh, they
And-
were.
Were you living on Trescott Drive at that time?
When we were married, we lived, I think we rented a house before that, but at some point, maybe in 2008, we moved to Trescott Drive.
And is that the home that he was still living in at the time that he was killed?
That is correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
it's
were
a
no longer
bizarre
living there, is
family.
that correct?
I was no longer living there.
All right. At the time he was killed, you two had children together, yes?
Yes.
And how many children did you have?
We have 2 children.
And what are their ages now?
They are 13 and 14.
What about at the time of their death?
Dude, they are 13 and 14. Oh my gosh. I wonder what they think. I mean, she probably tries to shield them from like, everything. But I mean, when you're 13, 14, you got a phone, you got access to internet, social media. Oh my God.
Dad's death.
At the time of their dad's death, they were 4 and 3.
Oh.
When did you separate from Professor Markel?
In the fall of 2012.
Whose decision was it to separate?
It was my decision.
And was part of the reason for the separation the two of you having differing views on how to raise your kids as far as within the Jewish faith?
I mean, it was a small part, but it was part of it.
Okay, that seemed to be something that came up a lot in your communication, so that's why I asked about it. What was the difference of opinion on that?
Yeah, weren't they both
I mean,
Jewish?
when we first met and started dating, Danny wasn't as observant or as religious as he became over time. And so the difference in our perspective on raising kids was about dietary choices and attendance at synagogue, things like that.
So in general, he wanted to raise the children more strictly in terms of the faith than you.
That is correct.
Did you move out of the marital home while Mr. Markel was away on a business trip?
I did, yes.
All right. And did he know that you were moving out when he left for the business trip?
No, he did not.
Where did you go when you left the marital home?
I rented a home in Tallahassee.
Where was that? Do you remember the address?
Aqua Ridge Way.
3303, sound right?
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, she
And
moved
what was
into
the
with
custody
kids?
arrangement once you moved out of the marital home?
I mean, in the beginning, until we had a formal custody arrangement, we were just finding ways to share custody. I remember that first weekend his parents came, so I made sure he had the children all weekend while his parents were visiting from Canada. But eventually we had a 50-50 shared custody arrangement.
All right, and do you remember exactly what that looked like? Was it week on, week off, or something more complicated?
It was something more complicated. In the summertime, it was week on, week off. During the weeks, it was I think what they called like a 2-2 split, with Wednesday night being an overnight and then the weekends being every other weekend.
All right, but roughly 50-50.
50-50, but that was the split.
Okay. And I want to show you what's been introduced into evidence, State's Exhibit 56. I know you've had a chance to take a look at this before, but you'll just kind of thumb through it and tell me. Do you recognize the exhibit?
I do.
Is it a fair and accurate copy of your divorce file?
It looks like it, yes.
All right. And is it fair to say this was a contentious litigation process that you had with your ex?
It was.
And I want to ask you about a specific filing in there. It's begins on page 43. And it's in reference to a filing on January 14th of 2013 where you were looking to relocate with the minor children. Do you recall that particular filing?
I recall the filing. You said 43. I'm not sure I'm... Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am, on the bottom there.
It's wild. They did all of this just because the judge denied Wendi's request to move closer to her family members in Miami. Because they were living in... Where were they living? Was it Tallahassee or something like that? So essentially, Dan Markel would be like, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 hours drive away from his kids. Of course, he would not want that. And so the judge denied that. And then look what happened. Look what happened to Dan Markel. This is so wild. This is so crazy.
There should be page numbers for you.
Yes.
She flat out lies here. Dude, yeah, there's like so many hours of her interrogation. And then there's her from like the other trials as well. Did she, the other 2 trials, was it in Catherine McBenoit's trial? Did she testify in the Hitman's trial? Because I know Catherine McBenoit had 2 trials because one was a mistrial and then finally the second one she was finally convicted. Was that the 2 trials that you're referring to that Wendi Adelson testified at? Yep. Call it the lies.
Yes, I recognize it.
Okay, and that's the filing in reference to your motion for relocation?
Yes.
Okay, and did you file this motion with the intent to not be successful?
Sorry, I don't
You
understand.
suggested that you never thought that was going to be successful, did you?
I thought there was a small chance that it would be successful, but not very likely, no.
Okay. And weren't you thinking, well, maybe Danny would be happy working somewhere else because he's mentioned applying elsewhere, so maybe he'll allow the relocation? Were you thinking that?
He and I talked about the relocation. So when we talked about it, he thought, well, if I can live nearby in Miami, that might work, and then I could commute to FSU. I didn't mean for him to leave FSU, but he wanted to leave FSU at some point, so that was just a matter of time.
So you thought it might be successful?
Sure, I mean, I thought it was possible, but not likely.
All right, and page 46 of that document, paragraph E references the job offer. The wife also desires to relocate to South Florida in order to provide a better quality of life for the children by increasing their access to close family and providing more stability.
They're batshit insane close family.
Who is the close family in South Florida?
The close family would have been my mom and my dad and my brother.
And which brother is that?
My brother that's here today.
Charlie Adelson?
That's correct.
Okay. What's your mom's name?
My mom's name is Donna.
Donna Adelson?
Yes, that's her name.
What about your dad?
My dad's name is Harvey.
And where did Donna and Harvey live back in the time frame between 2012 and 2016?
They lived at the home I grew up in Coral Springs.
And how far do they live away from you currently as we sit here today?
Currently, depends on Miami traffic, but anywhere between 15 minutes and an hour.
Right. And what kind of a relationship do you have with your parents as we sit here today?
I have a good relationship with my parents.
And has that always been the case?
I would say so.
Can you describe the relationship that your mom has with your boys?
I think it's very loving. I think she's a very dedicated grandmother.
She spends a lot of time with them, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
And when they were little and you first moved there after Danny's death, how much time was she spending with them?
When I moved there after Danny's death in 2014.
How much time was your mom spending with the boys?
I mean, we were all living together at that point. So, I mean, we were spending every day together.
How were your parents employed? Are they retired now?
They're retired now.
What are they retired from?
My dad was a dentist, and my mom used to coordinate, kind of be like an office administrator at his practice.
And did she write the checks at the practice? Paychecks?
Yes. Mm-hmm. She handled all the bookkeeping.
What was the name of the practice?
Nicole, chill. Woosah, okay? It's okay. Chill a little bit.
The name changed over the years, but probably the name when they retired was the Adelson Institute.
And were your parents wealthy at the time that your husband was murdered?
I mean, my parents worked their whole lives to support us, right? So
yes.
I think the business did well for a period of time.
Yes. Just say yes.
About $2 million in profit each year between 2013 and 2016. Sound
They
right?
never talked to me about money, so I have no idea how much the business made at any.
Your parents offered your husband $1 million to let the kids relocate to Florida, and you're going to sit here and say, oh, they're not wealthy? Just say yes. Just say yes, they're wealthy. Who fucking cares, Wendi?
Given point.
Did you discuss your marital problems with your mom at all?
I did, yeah.
Okay. What about the resulting legal issues? Was your mom read in on those things?
I mean, I definitely updated her about the results of the relocation when that petition got denied, but not kind of the ins and outs of every part of our divorce.
What about your dad? Was he invested in your divorce status?
I think the same as my mom, just worried about me and worried about the boys.
What about your brother? Did he take an interest in the ins and outs of your divorce?
No, not really.
Did he need to protect?
You know, I'm actually surprised they didn't take the route where they were saying that, like, oh, Dan Markel was like so abusive to Wendi, and that's why we were so worried about her. But I feel like the reason why they didn't take that route was because they didn't want to show that they had a reason to hire someone to kill Dan Markel. Because then obviously, you know, if there was some abuse going on, it would be like, okay, well, maybe the Adelsons were so desperate and that's why they did this. But like, I don't know, man. I thought they would say something like, oh yeah, Dan Markel was really abusive and stuff like that. But they probably thought they were never going to get caught and that it would never happen, that the police will look into them and stuff like that.
Do you from Dan Markel?
No, I mean, I don't think I need protection.
Were you physically in danger from Dan Markel?
No, I wasn't in danger.
Did the litigation revolving around the divorce and the subsequent issues that arose, did that impact your family back in South Florida?
I mean, only to the extent that I think they felt bad for what I was going through, but...
Wait, I have a question. If someone blocks you on YouTube, could they still see your messages or they just can't see you? How does that work? Like, for example, right? If I blocked Ozzy, could Ozzy still see my messages? I'm just curious. I don't know how YouTube works when it comes to blocking. Anyone know?
I'm going to show you an exhibit that I've marked as State's Exhibit 59. Sorry, 57, Your Honor. I've seen this one before as well. Does that one look familiar?
I don't remember it, to be honest. It's from 10 years ago.
Take a moment to look through it.
Hold on, let me read this. I don't even know what even happened. I was listening to this. Let's see what happened. No. Oh wait, hold on. This goes pretty far back. Did I miss this? Wendi should be wearing bright red, white. Sorry, I'm just catching up to see what you guys are talking about. Chopper. She's probably in her head blaming Harvey for not finding flight with her departure. No, she would have got nabbed. I think they should have left before Charlie Adelson was found guilty. Okay, if they were planning on leaving, they should have left before, and then afterwards, you know, see if it was guilty or not, and then come back or maybe not come back. Right? They should have done it before. These people think they were so goddamn smart. Let's see, Wendi. As far as I know, there isn't a call text with Wendi like there is with Donna. Okay. Don't worry about it. Maybe they want to keep it in the pocket. Against her. I feel like you guys both have valid points. I rewatched Wendy's testimony, the first, although I didn't watch Wendy's interrogation or her testimony in the other trials. Okay, I see where it got heated. It's all good. We're having a good day.
When you're done, I'll let opposing counsel take a look at it, but go ahead and...
I think she's being evasive. I actually believe her when she says she was... Really? When she was not involved, but I've been wrong about people before. I thought Katie was innocent. I don't know. I mean, honestly, from the limited stuff that I've seen from her so far, her driving by the day Dan Markel was murdered, taking a long way to go to the liquor store, and then her saying that, like, oh, you know, she saw like police tape, and then police was like, well, if you saw the police tape, you would have been like all up in the house, and you would have known that something happened to your husband. I don't know. There's just some stuff about her story where it just sounds really, 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 really bad, and I don't know. Maybe she wasn't like, I don't fucking know. All I know is, like, from what I've heard so far, it just sounds bad. But, you know, I'm willing to see what she says on this when she's on the on the stand. Maybe she'll say something where I'm like, oh my God, Wendi is like not involved. She's also a victim as well. We'll see. They should have left before they watched your channel for Vietnam. All right, I'm gonna skip through this. Where are we at right now? 1340. Okay, so Wendi is reviewing the documents. She's looking at it. There's music.
All right, are those emails between you and your mother?
I don't think I responded. I think they're just emails from my mom to me. No?
Okay, mostly all from your mom?
Yeah.
Okay, and the email address is, I think it's something like Wendi Harvey. Can you tell from the content that it's your mom typing rather than your dad?
Yeah, the email's Donna Harvey, my two parents' names, so they've been married over 50 years, so they have a joint email address. So it's from both of them.
Okay, so what I want to draw your attention to
get Harvey
is
up in this.
page 2 of that exhibit, that first paragraph there above the word response. Did you have an opportunity to read that?
I read it real fast, but
scanned.
I can read
And
it.
what I want to draw your attention to is specifically the part that reads, your father has made numerous trips by plane for weekends and changing the patient schedules around so he can continue to spend significant time with the children. Did you,
Are you objecting, Mr. Rochelle?
Who's mumbling?
Judge, at this time I'd ask to move this exhibit into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
It's 57.
Isn't it?
Thank you. So that paragraph, isn't that...
Oh, wait, we know her. Court TV correspondent, right? I think we literally just watched her. Hi.
Paragraph going
Don't know
into
her name,
detail
though.
about how the issues surrounding your divorce and litigation is financially impacting in a negative way your parents' business.
That's what my mom says here, yes.
Okay, and it also says, additionally, this loss of income affects my family because my older brother, also a dentist, purchased the practice for my father in mid-July 2012. He has a...
Although I think, Chopper, I think there may be times, though, where there is someone that is innocent that would still get immunity. I'm trying to think. I'm sure we can find a case where there's someone that's innocent, but would still be granted immunity. Like sometimes, like if you committed a crime that you don't want the government to go after you for, but that will link you to like the story when you're going up there and testifying, I think that would probably count as like immunity as well, where it's like they can't go after you for like a separate crime, but you have to talk about it because it actually led to the second crime. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like there are cases where you have had someone that's innocent, but would still be getting immunity in certain cases. Especially if it's like for a different crime that's unrelated to this case.
A monthly payment to make to my father based on the sale of the practice.
I'll look it up later.
It isn't fair to him to have decreasing monthly income statements from the practice due to my parents spending so much time here in Tallahassee. So this is an argument that your mom is proposing, right, to help you, give you an idea of what might persuade the courts to allow the relocation. Do you agree with that?
Yes, that's what she was doing, yes.
Okay, and she's indicating that both your parents as well as your brother have suffered financially as a result of you not being able to relocate.
Yes.
Okay. And on page, do you have page numbers in the bottom right corner of your exhibit?
I have them in the top so I can see.
Okay, so well, let me look. Give me a moment. So it'll be the second email in your packet, page 1 of 3.
Okay.
Do you see that?
I see that page.
Okay, and there's a rest of your life.
It's just wild to me. Like instead of, I know that they have their ties and their grounds in Miami, right? They have their dental practice. Charlie Adelson acquired the dental practice from the dad afterwards. But it's like, if you really, really want to be near Wendi, a grown ass woman and her 2 children, then you just have to make the sacrifice of just moving there and selling your practice. I don't know, starting over. But the fact that they chose murder over doing all that because it's probably a hassle, it's just so wild to me, because murder is a fucking hassle too, because you gotta hire people, you gotta make sure they don't talk, you gotta make sure they don't blackmail you. Like these people are like, I don't know, it's just so wild to me how they thought they were so freaking smart, but really they were not.
Highlighted or underlined in the center in bold. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, right before that it reads, however, the rest of your life and consequently Dad's, mine, and yes, even Charlie's will be affected by how well you can perform/act before July 31st. You need to be a good actress you can be a good actress when you want to. I've seen you in action. You need to put on the performance of your life. Jibbers hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet. Who's Jibbers?
Jibbers.
Jibbers, she's referring to Danny.
And was Jibbers a name he went by or just something you called him behind his back?
Jibbers was a silly nickname that I gave him during the divorce proceedings when he was being pretty scary and threatening, and it kind of made me feel less scared of him.
Okay, so not something you called him to his face?
No.
But that was a word that was only used to describe him?
Yes, it was a nickname.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wonder throughout her testimony, is she going to make other reference? Like, is she going to say anything else about Danny that's going to make him look bad? I don't know, man, because like sometimes we watch true crime videos, and when people are pointing their fingers at you, what do? Oh, they try to downplay the victim, make the victim look like a bad person. Like, oh my God, like they're abusive, or they're like alcoholics, or they're mean to our children. They don't take care of our children. They don't do anything. Like, I don't know. I'm just here to see what Wendy's going to say about Dan Markel.
So in this, again, your mom is referencing how everyone's life is being affected by this relocation, including your brother, Charlie. Do you agree with that?
That is what she said, yes.
All right. Is your mom overprotective of you?
Yes.
All right. And is it fair to say she's, a little on the controlling side?
Yeah, because like
controlling, but
Wendi, how old are you?
Did she ever try to micromanage your life?
Maybe, yeah.
Did she have an interest in who you were dating and who you weren't dating and who you should be dating when you were single?
I think she was usually disappointed that I wasn't dating more.
Okay. For example,
apparently her mom was the one that chose Dan Markel for Wendi. Like, oh God.
Well, isn't it true that she would like not let you drive to and from Tallahassee to South Florida?
Well, I used to drive before I had the boys, but they were young, and she preferred to come with me and give me some extra support.
Hi,
So
KK.
what would that look like if you were going to take a trip to South Florida? Would they come up here and get you, or?
No, sometimes I would go myself with the kids, but I was breastfeeding both of them, so it usually looked like me breastfeeding a child while I entertained the other in the Okahumpka rest stop. So
Okay.
it was a lot. It was helpful to have some backup.
All right, and so that time frame you'd be referencing is like the 2013 time frame? Because not around the time of Danny's death you wouldn't have still been breastfeeding, would you?
If Lincoln was 3, no, I would have stopped maybe the year before.
Okay.
So
And
maybe
was it-
2012, 2013.
Okay. And wasn't it true that around the time of the death they were still doing this practice where they would prefer to...
Wait, no bond on murder charges in Florida ever. Hold on a second. Wasn't there a mom who was accused of murdering her husband? Wasn't that in Florida? Who am I thinking of? I could have sworn there was someone. Oh God, I can't think of it. I could have sworn this was in Florida. Maybe it wasn't in Florida. It was like a mom who was accused of murdering, I think her husband. And I think it was in Florida. And I think she was out on bond, like house arrest / bond. And it pissed me off because I was like, dude, why is she out on bond? She should not be out on bond. But I don't know if it was Florida or not. I'll think about it. Who was it? I could have sworn it was Florida. Maybe not.
to drive you to and from South Florida?
I mean, not every time, but sometimes.
Was it Casey?
Okay. And would your mom sometimes enlist your brother Charlie to convince you to do certain things in your personal life?
Can't really think of an example of that.
Well, dating Dave was a big one on some of the materials I had.
Yeah, people like Dave.
All right, and your mom really liked Dave.
Yeah, everyone liked Dave, but we were just friends.
Okay. Did she try? So she would try to get.
Oh, maybe it was Casey Anthony. Was it Casey Anthony? I'm just picking out the first article. Casey Anthony. Casey Anthony. She was out on bond, seriously? Yeah, maybe it wasn't yeah, maybe it was a child murderer. Uh-oh. Oh God, sorry. What is this website? Casey. Sacramento-based bail bondsman and bounty hunter Leonard Padilla said his nephew, Tony Padilla, will post 10% of Casey Anthony's $500,000 bond needed to release her on Monday. Oh, I think it was because they hadn't found baby Kaylee yet. I don't think they found her yet, right? Okay, I don't know.
Charlie to convince you to date a certain person.
I don't think she was getting Charlie to convince me to date Dave. I think everyone liked Dave.
All right, and would you try to get Charlie to convince you to do certain things as far as your professional life? What jobs to take?
No, I don't think
Didn't do
so.
that. Would you try to get Charlie to do certain things like
Is Charlie
advise you
older?
on investment decisions, whether or not you were going to buy a house, for example?
I don't think so. I don't remember that. Danny and I made that decision together.
Once you had left Dan and you were living separately, did you look into purchasing a home here in Tallahassee?
I did, yeah.
And did your brother Charlie convince you not to do that?
I don't remember him convincing me not to. The only reason why I didn't was because I was waiting on the money from Danny from the settlement and he didn't pay it, so I couldn't afford the house.
And your mom didn't want you to buy the house, did she?
That's not true. My parents were looking to buy a house in Tallahassee as well.
Okay. Did you have... Strike. Generally speaking, does your mom manipulate the personal lives of her children?
No.
Is your mom, like if she's really upset about something or worked up about something, is that something that your brother Charlie is going to hear a lot about? Who's going to hear more of it, you or Charlie?
Well, if my mom's upset with me, probably Charlie. And if she's upset with Charlie, probably me.
Okay, so do you get a lot of that? Do you hear a lot about... Let's go back. Let's go to before the murder. Did you get a lot of Donna just giving you an earful about what Charlie needs to be doing?
Probably, at some point.
What was Charlie doing with his personal life? What did his personal life look like
At what point?
before the murder?
I mean, at what period of time before?
All of them. Wasn't it just a revolving door of girlfriends?
Right, but my mom didn't complain to me about that.
She didn't mind that with him.
I don't understand the question.
She didn't mind if he went from girl to girl to girl. That was acceptable.
She didn't really weigh in on it, no.
Who talked to her more, you or Charlie?
Charlie.
A lot more, right?
Yeah.
At the time of Dan Markel's murder, were your parents extremely angry with Dan?
At that point, no. They were in
Really?
a much better place.
Really?
I want to direct your attention to an interview that was conducted on, I think this was your law enforcement interview. So July 18th, 2014. And I'm specifically for court and counsel looking at page 27, lines 11 and 12. I'm open to the page, but you can flip around if you need to familiarize yourself.
Do you want me to flip through or just look at this one page?
If you'll just look at that one page. Ms. Adelson, you know my parents are, very angry toward him. Is that true?
Oof.
Was
Isn't
that
that
true?
what you said? Your parents were very angry toward Dan.
Can I read the rest of the sentence?
Sure.
So I say, my parents are very angry towards him, but even when they're around my kids, they would never say a bad word about my kid's father.
And then on page 288, line 24.
That's not what Dan Markel said.
289, line 1. And that's going to be, didn't you say, it's like my parents have more reason to dislike Danny than almost anyone else. Is that what you said?
That is what I said.
And that's because he hurt you, right?
And
I wonder if she was planning this, like slowly throw her family under the bus, and then she was hoping that they would give her immunity. I wonder if Wendi planned all of this. Because remember, Wendy's interrogation or an interview, they mentioned that it was like a 5-hour long interview, but within the first 5 pages of the transcript, she mentioned that her brother jokingly said that he would hire a hitman, or it was easier to buy TV than hire a hitman. It's like, why would you say that? I don't know. Maybe she was leaving like cookie crumbs to like lead it to her family. That way, because she probably thinks that like, you know what, we're probably gonna get caught. Like, there's no way we have 3 hitmen or like 2 hitmen and 1 woman who hired the hitman involved, and there's no way they're not going to speak. So I wonder if she like did this on purpose.
I was saying that in the context of talking to law enforcement for hours and hours and trying to help them figure out who might be responsible.
Right. And who did you tell them might be responsible?
Your brother.
Well, I told them many, many people. But are you asking about this particular moment right here?
You told them your family might be responsible.
Or potentially someone to do with a former student or his current girlfriend. I mentioned lots of people that I thought could be responsible.
Okay. And of the lots of people that could have been responsible, your family was one.
Yep.
Because they might have done this thinking it would help you.
Yep.
And that's what happened, right?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Your family had your ex-husband killed to try to help you, didn't they?
No, that's completely untrue.
And back to the divorce, the petition where Danny is responding to your petition for the motion to relocate. Are you familiar with that filing, or do you need to take a look at it?
I need to take a look at it.
All right, it's going to be page 79 through 101, and this is back to our exhibit.
Yeah, do you think they're gonna
56?
They're gonna convict Donna first and then go after Wendi?
And in this filing, doesn't Mr. Markel say, quote, the husband affirmatively alleges that the wife helped herself to non-marital assets, including money and stocks owned prior to marriage, as well as numerous personal non-marital belongings of the husband, such as luggage, bicycle, tennis racket, and family heirlooms. The wife has refused to return these items or to allow the husband into her home to see what other personal belongings were taken without his permission or acquiescence.
Oof.
So my point is, he's accusing you of theft in this paragraph.
Those are the words that are here, yes.
Yeah, and he's very adamantly objecting to your relocation, right? On page 82, it says the sole stated reason the wife seeks to relocate is so that she can be closer to her parents. Was being near your parents the sole reason that you wanted to relocate?
No.
It wasn't the sole reason stated in your petition?
It wasn't the sole reason stated in my petition, and it wasn't the sole reason that he and I talked about before I filed the motion to relocate.
Why was he so adamant and so confident that this was the real reason you wanted to be down there?
I think there's a lot of things in these pleadings that are not true, so just because it says something doesn't make it true.
Sure, but did he know that your mom was just grinding on this issue of trying to get you down there?
He would have had no idea.
He wouldn't have been, that wouldn't have been known to him?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was their way of getting at Dan Markel, their way of hurting him. And then when he won and the judge didn't allow Wendi to relocate, that must have hurt their ego so freaking much.
But he was accusing you in these pleadings of all kind of stuff, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's true, but hiding financial assets, failing to disclose things, kidnapping his kids in the middle of, his business trip, all those sorts of things, right?
Yes, you said lots of.
Oh, was that what it was? They already said she lied about the police if there's no tape blocking the street. Oh, did I misunderstand that? I thought the tape was like where the actual house was. I think she made it seem like the police tape was blocking like the entire road or something. But maybe I misunderstood that.
Thanks.
All right, and you said a lot of things too. There's filings going both ways that are pretty venomous. Would you agree with that?
I would not agree with that.
Yours were pleasant.
I'm not saying divorce filings are pleasant, but mine were not venomous.
Okay. Did your mother, Donna Adelson, review the filing in which Dan Markel is accusing you of this theft and all this stuff?
I don't remember if she did.
What about the one where Dan Markel is asking that your mother not be permitted?
I mean, even though she has immunity, they can still go after her for perjury, can they not? Yeah, because I don't think immunity covers your ass if you're perjuring on the fucking stand.
I don't remember if she did.
What about the one where Dan Markel is asking that your mother not be permitted to have unsupervised visitation with the kids?
My mom never saw that because after he filed that, he then asked my parents to babysit the kids. And my mom baked him banana bread, gave him a hug goodbye. So there was nothing truthful about that pleading that he filed. My mom never saw it.
Why do you think he filed that?
He was really angry at me for leaving him.
Okay, so he didn't really want to limit your mom's visitation with the kids.
No,
and that's evidence
to babysit after he filed that.
Evidenced by the banana bread, and so she didn't even know about that filing.
She never knew about it.
Okay, and when she laid all those options out in that email to you about other options that you could take to secure the relocation, as far as bribing, you remember that? Converting the Christian children to Christianity, remember that suggestion?
I sure do.
Okay. What did she put in there that she
What a
viewed
weird
as your
thread.
most non-negotiable and most important part of your divorce?
I don't know. Do you have something I can see?
States Exhibit 57.
So you want me to read what she said here?
I want you to answer the question. What was the most important part?
Of the divorce for my mom.
Yes.
It says here that for her it was relocation.
All right. And did you have 2 8-hour mediations in your divorce?
We had 2 very long mediations. I don't remember exactly how long they were, but they
Did
felt
they
like a very
result
long
in a
time.
resolution?
No.
Was Mr. Markel seeking to depose your mom as part of the divorce?
Okay, sorry. So she mentioned that Dan Markel put in a motion to have supervised visits whenever the grandmother would be near the kids because apparently she was bad mouthing Dan Markel to the kids and he didn't want that to happen. But what Wendi is saying, Wendi was like, well, actually, my mom never saw that motion, but I'm sure Wendi probably saw that motion, right? Because then Wendi could have just told her mom verbally. Or is Wendi also saying that, like, oh, at that time I didn't see that motion as well? No, she would have gotten notified by her lawyer. I mean, Wendi, you could have just told your mom, and then your mom would have heard about it, but even more pissed. And maybe when she made the banana bread, I don't know. I don't know if I would trust banana bread from Wendi Adelson, or sorry, Donna Adelson. I don't know, man. She might be poisoning it. But okay. And then going back to, sorry, there was something else that they mentioned that I wanted to talk about. Oh, God, I forgot. I left my mind. Oh, yeah. Bizarre to me that you have a Jewish family threatening a Jewish husband that, you know what, we're going to convert your kids to Christianity. What a fucking weird threat. So weird.
Remember that?
Do you know if it ever happened?
I don't think it happened. I don't remember it.
Was the prospect of that upsetting to your mom?
I don't think so. I don't remember it, so I don't remember talking with her about it or...
Did your mom call Dan any disparaging names around this time frame?
Well, I just read them in the emails, but I
Okay.
don't remember them independently.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard that they usually don't go after people for perjury, but what about people who testify with immunity and then they perjure? I wonder if that's like more of like a higher chance of going after you for perjury. But I did hear that as well because like they usually don't want to go after people for perjury because they don't want to like convince people to like not like, I don't know, I guess like they don't want people to like have an incentive to like not testify because then they're scared of being, you know, convicted for perjury. But I don't know. I wonder in her case if it's like a little more specific, a little bit more special. Maybe not.
Did she call him an asshole?
Yes.
A narcissist?
Yes.
A bully?
Yes.
Religious zealot?
Yes.
Bastard?
That I don't remember.
Page 5.
Okay.
Was this on email?
Is it page 5 from the first email?
Yes, if you'll just go through by the physical
Look at
pages.
Charlie just smiling there. Oh my God, Charlie. Dude.
I see. Yes.
I'm sorry, what was your answer?
Yes.
Fucker?
Yes.
Oh my God, Charlie. You hired people
But
to
in
kill
all the
this man. You
filings
can't even
made
keep
on
it
your
together.
behalf by the different lawyers that you had, and all of the emails that your mom sent, he was never described as abusive.
I mean, he was described as emotionally abusive, yes.
Can you show me where he was described as emotionally abusive in any of those items?
Well, not by my mom, but in the pleadings.
Okay, show me that.
It's going to take me a while to find it.
Okay, well, it's
You want me
not
to-
in there, but you can get back to me.
Well,
with
it is in there.
Your Honor. The comment, she's not testifying. Hold on, please approve.
So would you have to review the whole file in order to find that, or could you just give us a starting point of which filing it might be located in?
It might be under the petition to relocate. It might be under the initial divorce proceedings. It wouldn't be in emails from my mom, but it would take a while to find it. It might be in the depositions.
Okay, did you view yourself as being stuck here in Tallahassee once the relocation was denied?
I didn't. I mean, I had a really nice life here. I did not view myself as being stuck.
Would you please turn to page...
Yeah, because I think the important part is like not actually being charged with the perjury, but having that immunity taken away if they realize that you perjured. I wonder how often that happens.
Page 176 in that exhibit in front of you. Did you describe yourself in that filing as being stuck in Tallahassee?
I don't see it. You said it was highlighted, but there's nothing highlighted.
Okay. 176 on that page.
She told him that Charlie tried but didn't, feel she wanted him to do it, or at least poke around enough to be blamed.
I see the word stuck. I found it.
Okay. So did you describe, at least in one occasion, being stuck?
No, I don't think going to law school helps you lie even more. I think this is just a family full of like deceitful people. She went to law school and then I think she served as a law clerk for a couple of years. And then afterwards, she worked at FSU with Dan Markel. And then now, what does she do now? She said she does like charity stuff, raises money or something like that. And something else I forgot.
In Tallahassee?
No, can I read the sentence?
Sure.
So it says, The husband has made it difficult for the wife with her colleagues at her current position due to his statements and actions, and the husband's intent is to relocate to a larger area at some point. So the wife is merely stuck in Tallahassee until the husband decides that the time is right for him to leave.
All right.
Meaning,
And had he accepted a job anywhere else by the time that he was murdered?
no, he hadn't yet been offered a job, but he was always looking.
Okay. So he was just going to move and just let you have the kids at that point?
He probably would have done what I did, which is have a conversation and see if it was a place that made sense for both of us to live.
And would you have moved to wherever he got a great job and started a new life there?
Potentially, yeah.
Hey, Fire.
Did you like Tallahassee?
I did.
And you said, I think you did say this, but let me clarify. Was your mom aware of the order denying relocation?
My mom was aware of the order denying
And
relocation.
what about your brother,
You're good, Nicole. You're fine. You're fine.
Charlie? Was he aware of that as well?
I'm sure
Yeah.
my mom would have said something to him.
All right, so did your mom suggest any ways that you might coerce Dan Markell to let you move with the kids to South Florida?
I think that's what I remember. Immigration law. She did practice briefly as an immigration lawyer at a law clinic at the university. She actually married Dan after they finished law school, and then they had the 2 boys.
Yes, I think we talked about that before.
We did, and for this I'm referring back to those emails. And in particular, the bribe. So another bribe to get him to allow relocation. I'm on page 5 of 5 of the first email.
She remembers everything during cross-examination. Oh, dude.
For defense. Another bribe to get him to allow relocation should be the offer of plane tickets so that he can fly back and forth, right? So you were going to potentially offer this big monetary benefit that would allow him to fly back and forth to work. Is that the idea?
I never said that I was going to do any of that.
Okay, was that the idea that your mom had?
That was the idea.
All right, and the amount of the bribe is going to be, or was at least discussed as being $1 million. Is that right?
That is what they said.
Okay, and did you agree with that?
No.
Would that have worked?
I have no idea if it would have worked, but...
You think he might have taken $1 million to let his kids go?
Well, he wasn't letting his kids go. He would have moved to South Florida.
Thanks, Ron. I appreciate it. How's your day going? Thank you so much for the 111. Thank you for your support. He looks like he hasn't slept in days.
You think he might have taken $1 million to let his kids go?
Well, he wasn't letting his kids go. He would have moved to South Florida, and he would have commuted back and forth to his job. So, maybe.
Well, then why wasn't it offered?
Because I didn't want to do it.
All right, what about the idea that you could try to threaten...
And this was coming from Donna Adelson. This was the emails written by her. Not Donna, Donna.
Dan to
Donna,
convert
whatever.
the kids to Christianity so that they can fit into the Bible Belt here in Tallahassee. Is that something your mom suggested in these emails?
My mom did suggest that.
Okay, and specifically, this is on page 7 of the exhibit. Let dribbers know that your children will be baptized in the Catholic Church. Have a picture made of them in front of the church, all that kind of thing. That's what your mom suggested at one time?
She did, yes.
Yeah, that's wild. Using the children as a tool to get at the person that you don't like. Like, these people, they say they care about the children. They don't care. They just care about themselves, honestly.
Okay, and did you do any of those things?
No, I don't even think I responded.
They just
to it.
hate losing.
Do you know whether the defendant, your brother Charlie, was supportive of the plan to convert them or pose as converting them to
I have no
Christianity?
idea. I don't think he was particularly involved in this round of my mom's
On
emails.
page 11 of the exhibit, there's an...
Oh, yeah. I actually did hear that Wendi Adelson wrote, like, was it a true crime novel? Wendi Adelson book. She, like, wrote a book, and apparently she tried to say that Dan Markell never, like, supported her or something. But if you go to his blog, I think he, like, tried to, like, he talked about it. Like, he tried to, like, you know, like, oh, this is my wife's book, blah, 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 or something. Oh God, what is this book about? Oh, This Is Our Story. Yeah, she wrote a book back in, when was this? This Is Our Story follows the lives of Rosa and Miela, 2 young women from different countries who become victims of human trafficking. When duped into domestic servitude and commercial sexual exploitations. Because I forgot, someone made a mention about this book. Oh yeah, that's her, Wendi Adelson. When did she write? Where is the year? How do I? Yeah, it's on Amazon right now for $24 for a paperback. Oh my God, how many? 240 pages. Oh my God. Oh dude, kind of pricey. $24. How much is, like, what's a known book, like Harry Potter? How much is Harry Potter? I could have sworn Harry Potter was like $12 now if you get a paperback version. You've been out of the loop in the case. Oh, the Maya case took all your time. What are your thoughts on the Maya case? Did you agree with the verdict and stuff? The trial lasted a long time. Yeah, it was like was it like 2 months or something, or 45 days?
Indication from your mom that Charlie at least has discussed this with her and maybe is somewhat supportive. Charlie brought up a good point when he said that Americans were dropped behind enemy lines during World War II wearing Nazi uniforms to get what they wanted. They had a job to get done, and they did what they needed to do to accomplish it. You have a job to get done in a very short time frame to accomplish it. If you dressed your kids up in Hitler Youth uniforms and brought them down here, I could care less if it was an act of defiance that would show Jibbers that he's all cap.
Wait, is this still Donna? Oh my fucking God, Donna's batshit crazy insane.
And bold, not in control. So it just seems like your mom was pretty extreme about this situation of getting you relocated. Can you agree with that?
Yeah.
All right, and Charlie was at least consulted on it or had offered some information about it.
Well, that was my mom's rendition, so I don't know if that's what actually happened or that was her perception.
Sure. Were you involved in the effort to consult a lawyer about the bribe and whether that was going to be legal?
I wasn't the lawyer consulted in that.
No. Were you involved in consulting a lawyer with your mom? Okay. Do you know for sure if any financial offer was or was not made to Dan Markel?
I couldn't say for sure if they made it to Danny without me knowing, but I don't think so.
Is that something they would do, is try to negotiate with him behind your back or deal with this situation behind your back?
I don't think so.
I did hear that she was on a podcast. I haven't listened to that podcast yet, though. You agree with the verdict? The lawyer, doctors, or defense give you a bad vibe. The fact that the defense never provided the reviews that almost cost the hospital their accreditation.
I would have known. Danny probably would have told me.
But you definitely didn't extend any of these offers or threats.
No.
When was the divorce final?
The summer of 2013.
All right, I'm going to switch gears for a minute and talk about phone stuff. Was your cell phone collected by the police in this case after Dan was shot?
I gave the police my cell phone and asked them to search it if it could be useful.
All right, and around the time of the murder, was your number 954-803-0079?
It was.
And can you agree that the numbers, let me show you an exhibit. You will. Okay. I want to explain what it is. Okay. Yeah, so I talked a lot about converting to Christianity, but I didn't mention what religion you are. We talked about Dan being more religious than you are, but we didn't talk about what religion you are. So could you explain that to the jury, please?
Sure. I'm Jewish.
And Dan was as well, right?
And Danny was Jewish as well.
Okay. So I had this exhibit 59. This is not. Yes, that's what we did. Members obviously don't know the other people. Are those phone numbers accurate, if you know, for the time frame around the murder?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then you are also familiar with the wiretap that was conducted in this case?
Yes.
And did I provide you a disc labeled Disc 107, ask you to review some calls and see if you could authenticate the voices on those calls?
Yes.
All right, and for that, I made you a little spreadsheet, which I've marked as 61. And were you able to initial by each call indicating that the highlighted names are the voices of the people they purport to be?
Yes.
Judge, at this time, I ask you to evidence state 61.
No objection. All
right, and if we can shift back to, we talked about your divorce being final. Once the divorce was final, weren't there still a lot of filing?
He looks like Sam Bankman-Fried. I thought he kind of looks like Frodo or like Smeagol. He's got like the big, like teary blue eyes looking thing, you know? Hey, how are you doing today? How's it going? Thank you for the follow. Wait, so she said she never agreed to it, but Charlie said she was supposed to pay him back 1/3. Pay him back 1/3 for what? The money that they used for hiring the hitman?
Filings that went back and forth between both you and Dan Markel?
Yes and no. The divorce was final. We had a final settlement agreement. Mm-hmm. The agreement was I take my name off the title to the house. He pays me half the value to the house. So within the first week, I went and took my name off the title to the house, and I waited until October when he was supposed to get back to me. He never paid me the money. And so I called and I asked what happened. That was the deal. And he said, I have compelling reasons. I'm not going to pay you. And so I made one filing, a motion to enforce the settlement agreement because he didn't do it.
Right. So you believe that he owed you money pursuant to the settlement agreement?
Yes.
He was in violation of the settlement agreement?
Yes.
And he was of the belief that you had withheld some financial things from your affidavit, and maybe he didn't owe you the money that you had previously agreed on because you had not been honest in the initial disclosures, right?
He accused my attorney of having unclean hands and committing a crime.
Yeah, and assisting you in withholding this money from the disclosures. Okay. All right, so I want to ask you about...
No, it's okay. I think it's okay to have like different opinions because like I'm still learning about this whole thing with like Wendi and like maybe her possible involvement. But yeah, no, I think it's good to hear from both sides, especially like sides that like we haven't really considered.
The motion to enforce marital settlement agreement and hold Dan Markel in contempt of court. That was filed, you may need to refresh your memory, October 31st, 2013.
But now, as I learn more about this, I might become more passionate about it. So we'll see.
Exhibit 56.
I'm chill right now because I'm learning.
Have you take a look at, this is going to be on 338. All right, could you just read the title, the caption of that filing?
Motion to enforce marital settlement agreement and to show cause why the former husband should not be held in contempt of court.
What does it mean to be held in contempt of court?
It means not to be doing what the court has asked you to do.
What can happen to you if you're held in contempt of court?
The husband?
I don't know, really.
Could you be jailed?
I don't know.
All right. And when was this filed? This was you filing it, right? I mean, you're the client.
Right.
You're asking that he be held in contempt. And you don't know what that means?
I mean, at the time I filed, which was 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, refresh your recollection with the document. It goes through 340.
Okay, I have it.
Okay. So what was it you were asking for in this motion?
It was what I just mentioned. So basically, I took my name off the title to the house. He never paid. This was asking him to pay.
Cough up the money or be held in contempt?
Yep.
Okay. And what day was this filed?
This was filed on October 31st, 2013.
All right, so Halloween of 13, and that's the same day that you backed out of the contract to purchase the house in Tallahassee, right?
I don't remember what day that was.
Okay. Do you remember that it was your brother, Charlie, that specifically convinced you to back out of that particular house deal?
I don't, actually. I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's the part that I heard about Wendi driving pretty close to Dan Markel's house when he was murdered. And they were like, why would you take this route to go to the liquor store? And she's like, oh, well, I normally take this route and I usually just take whatever I know. And then what else? What else did she say? She said she was bad with directions. And apparently there was another liquor store that was closer to her house that she could have went to, but she opted to go to the liquor store that was further to her house. But that's what I remember so far. I could have sworn there's other shit that I remember about Wendi. I know there was like other stuff that she did that was like, seems kind of weird, but I thought the driving thing was odd. And then her mentioning her brother, of course. But, it was like how apparently the kids never visited the grave of their father, but it could just be that Wendi still fucking hated him, even though he was murdered. She could have still hated him, right? Or the fact that like they changed the kid's last name from Markel to Adelson a year after he died. But it could just be a sign of Wendi still hating him, even though he died, right? But I don't know, man. That's why I'm just listening. See what else is there. Well, they're like 12. I think they're like 13 and 14 years old. So I think that's what she meant by like, oh, they're just babies, you know, like they're kids. Babes.
And you may have to look around for context, but I'm specifically.
She was walking by the house? Was she? Yeah, I hear different things about the police tape stuff. Was this before GPS? I don't know what car Wendi was driving. I don't know if they were able to subpoena like her car records. I know she gave her cell phone to law enforcement, but I don't know if they did that like cell phone ping thing. Yeah, I don't know if they got it off her car or if they got it off her cell phone. I'm not really quite sure. I am not quite sure.
Honestly, I mean, I can read what's here, but I still don't remember.
Don't really remember. And after pulling the plug on the house, there were some emails where you were saying you can't answer the phone, you're crying too hard about the house. Like you seem genuinely upset about pulling the plug on the house, but now you don't remember it?
Well, it's been 10 years.
Walking by during the first attempt. Oh, at the murder with her kids. Oh, the first attempt. Yeah, I did hear about that. I heard that the hitman did drive up to Tallahassee where they were like scoping it out. And I don't know if they actually attempted it or if they're just scoping it out, but I did hear about that. But I don't know if they actually attempted it. Did they?
Years. Sure. So a lot of terrible things have happened since then. It's hard to remember.
Don't recall.
I really liked the house and was excited about it, but it was more than I can afford at the time. That's what I remember is talking with the real estate agent and having her say we'd find another.
That GPS back then. It was 2014.
Would you have any reason to dispute that occurred on Halloween of 2013?
No, it probably did. I just don't remember.
Okay, and then a few months later, on February 14th of 2014, there was another filing. I want to draw your attention to page 379. ask you what that document is.
Do you want me to read the title of the document?
Yes, please.
Former husband's counter motion to enforce marital settlement agreements, financial provisions, and incorporated motion for sanctions.
Do you remember this filing?
I don't remember this filing, but in anticipation of my testimony today, I refreshed and reread it.
Okay, and he accuses you in this filing of breaching the marital settlement agreement in various ways, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and committing a fraud upon the court by omitting the $200,000 in assets from your financial affidavit?
That is what he was alleging.
And asked the court to sanction you?
Yes, that's what he said.
Okay, so again, you're both seeking the court to sanction each other. I mean, them's fighting words and lawyer terms, right?
Well, I was filing a motion to enforce a settlement agreement, so I don't think that's really fighting words. That's just asking the court to complete what it already said it wanted to do.
Okay. And on page 379, Dan suggests that the court send a strong message about your malfeasance by awarding him the entirety of the undisclosed assets of over $200,000, right?
That is what he asked for.
Okay, and then on March 10th of 2014, on page 437, do you respond with your motion to
Up until the murder of Dan Markel, were they still in the middle of this contentious divorce battle?
dismiss the former husband's counter motion to enforce the marital settlement agreement that we just talked about?
I'm sorry, what is the page number?
437.
Oh, Frankie. It's such a cute name. I love it. Yeah, I was thinking of naming my next dog Frank or Frankie.
Do you want me to read through it?
Could you read the caption aloud, please?
Sure.
Frankie.
Motion to dismiss the former husband's counter motion to enforce marital settlement agreements, financial provisions, and incorporated motion for sanctions for failure to state a cause of action, and motion to strike as a sham pleading, and motion to strike as redundant, immaterial, impertinent, and scandalous pleading.
Oh, the divorce was
Go to
finalized?
page 439. Do you see a paragraph that begins, the vast majority of the former husband's motion?
Actually, don't see that. On page 439?
Yes, ma'am. I think I have it pulled out.
On number 8.
Yeah, the vast majority of the former husband's motion contains allegations that are redundant, immaterial, impertinent, and scandalous. Yada, yada. He's making false and immaterial statements against you. His pleadings only prove that he is a disgruntled former husband who cannot move past this disillusion. So it's getting personal. Would you agree with that?
My attorney here is responding to his pleading, which was over the top.
And this is over the top, right?
I don't think so, no.
Then 6 days later, Dan files another motion seeking action against your mother, and that's the one we've already touched on. That's page 441. Is that right?
Okay, yeah, because that was my understanding as well. I think I remember hearing the divorce was, like, everything was finalized a year before, and before the shooting happened. Legal crap was money owed and Wendi relocation request. Wasn't that relocation request a year before the shooting too, right? Hey, Melissa, how are you doing today?
Right?
Page 441.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's what we talked about.
Okay, former husband's counter motion for enforcement of marital settlement agreement on parenting issues and motion for contempt and sanctions. Here he's alleging, again, more violations of the marital settlement agreement, including communication between he and the boys. He wasn't happy with how much
The supervised visits thing, was that a year before the murder as well? Or was it closer to the murder? She needs to be careful. Anything she says now will be used against her in the criminal trial. Her mom will go next, and then Wendi. She's got, what is it called again? Use and derivative use immunity, where anything that she says while on the stand actually can't be used against her, and then they can't use that to research and to look into even more. There's a better way of wording that, and I did a horrible job. Well, okay, let me think. Anything she says on the stand, they can't use that as a way to like investigate into other things. Like this, what she says right now on the stand can't lead to other things that they're going to investigate into. Does that make sense? But if you are found to perjure on the stand, apparently your immunity disappears. So
communication was happening, failing to keep him informed of where his kids are, failure to communicate about parenting decisions like the kids' schooling, diet, and extracurricular activities, and refusal to provide him access to the kids on their birthdays. So he's complaining about a lot of things associated with this, not just money stuff, it's parenting stuff too, right?
That's right.
And isn't it in this motion that... Yes, sir.
Oh, I said that's right.
Isn't it in this motion that Dan Markel seeks to enjoin you from allowing your mother from spending time with the kids without supervision?
Can you please show me which page that's on?
Relocation request was 1 year before the shooting. Okay, I remember hearing that. And then denied Wendi tried to ask, yet again. That was never heard because he was shot and killed. Okay. And then what about the Donna Adelson supervision request? Was that a year before as well?
450. Do you see a paragraph beginning on 3 specific occasions?
Yes, I do.
Could you read that, please?
8A, on 3 specific occasions in November 2013, the children informed Mr. Markel, Abba, Dad, Grandma says you're stupid. When queried as to why Grandma, the maternal grandmother, would say such things, the children replied jointly that it is because she says you are trying to take her sunshines away from her.
Oh, and then also, when we're going to listen to Charlie Adelson's testimony, but when he testified about this, he was like, my children are 5 years old. Like, they wouldn't be able to, you know, say that like someone told them this and then, you know, essentially repeat it. And I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like kids, like, I don't know. My friend has a daughter that's like 2.5 years old, and she comes back from daycare and she gives us an update about, like, you know, she gives her mom the update about the drama between her and this girl named Haley. Like, Haley hit me, so I hit Haley. Like, I don't know. 5-year-old, I'm pretty sure they'd be able to. Like, oh yeah, Grandma said this, you know, and just repeating what the mom says. But Charlie said that, you know, kids, they can't do that. They're only 5 years old.
Continue, please.
In December 2013,
you don't have to say the name. Your child.
My child, the younger son, further stated to Mr. Markel in front of the former wife, Abba, Grandma says she hates you. The children were visiting with their grandparents at that time.
That's fucking horrible, man. Like, you're not supposed to get your kids involved in this. Like, do not let the kids know what their shitty parent is, especially when they're like young like that. Like, what, 3-4 years old, right? That's like too fucking young, man. They're trying to poison their kids' minds. Wild.
Mr. Markel is concerned that continued exposure to such negativity forms a foundation for parental alienation.
Donna refused to give up her phone. Really?
About your mom?
That is what he is alleging in this document, yes.
Where? Where did you read this?
He filed this in court.
On what date?
If you're in my Discord, can you post it in there? Thank you.
It will be at the front of the document, right?
Yes, ma'am. Page 441.
This was filed on March 26th, 2014.
And this was the filing that never got ruled on, right?
I don't believe there was any ruling on this.
And that's because Dan Markel was killed before the hearing, right?
I don't know when it was scheduled for.
It wasn't even scheduled yet.
Okay.
It was waiting to be scheduled when he was killed.
Okay.
Is it fair to say your mom was worried about this motion?
No, my mom never knew about this motion.
I have a tough time not... I don't know. I don't know if I believe that Wendi didn't tell her mom about this. I feel like if Wendi knew about this motion, which I feel like she would have been alert about it, I felt like she would have told her mom, like, oh my God, I can't believe Dan's trying to file this motion to have supervised visits whenever you're around.
And as I mentioned before, Danny asked my mom to babysit after filing this motion, so I don't really believe anything that's written here.
Well, you forwarded this motion to your mother via email. In fact, you forwarded this motion to 12 different people.
Oh my God. So she did know about this motion. Oh no. Oh, hold on a second. I need to get my... I get my protein shake here. Blood sugar is a little low. Oh no! Do they have evidence of this email? I wish we could get access to the evidence, man. I need to see these emails. Oh boy. Here I'm saying, oh, Wendi probably told her mom, but no, man, they got the email trail. Oh boy. Let's see what happens.
Your mom, Jeffrey Lacoste, Renee Griggs, Tova Walsh, Morgan Honeycutt, Gary Cohen,
what is
Miguel
the whole
Edmondson,
family?
Trey Hubler, Robert Adelson, Rachel Frank, Jared Reich, and some MEHULNYC at yahoo.com.
Oh,
so
Yahoo.
if you weren't worried about this, why'd you send it to all these people?
I couldn't really say. It's been a long time.
Wow.
And then a couple days later, we know what happened.
Wait, what is the name? What is the name of this prosecutor? What is her name? Is her name Georgia? For some reason, Georgia's coming to my mind. Oh my God. Get her. Get her.
So this was in March. So a couple days, I sent it to people in July when Danny
You
was
sent
killed.
it, I'm sorry, you sent it a couple days later.
I sent
that email to 12 different people.
In March.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Then you can resume your examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to talk a little bit about your brother.
It is Georgia, right? Okay, dude. Georgia's like, well, if you weren't worried, why did you forward it to 12 different people? And I thought you said you didn't tell your mom about it, but you forwarded to her email. Oh no, Wendi.
Charlie, is he an older brother or a younger brother to you?
I'm the youngest of 3, so I have 2 older brothers. They're both older than me.
Oh, no wonder. She's the
middle
baby.
child, Charlie?
That's right.
All right. And are you closer to Charlie or to the other brother?
I'm closer to Charlie.
Georgia.
How much time were you spending with Charlie back in 2013 and 2014?
Not a lot of time. I was in Tallahassee. He was in South Florida.
Did he work?
That was the cell phone that was in the video. I already posted on the Discord. They seized it during the arrest at the airport. There was a little struggle. Wait, sorry. I thought they said Wendi. Was it Wendi or did they say Donna? I might have read it wrong. Oh God, I don't know where it went. That Donna refused to give up her phone. Oh, okay. I misread it. I thought it was Wendi because Wendi initially said that she gave the phone to law enforcement. No issue. Okay, I'll read it. I haven't looked at it yet. I don't think. Might have glazed over it.
Work a lot?
He worked a lot. Yeah.
And did he work at one location or travel around?
He would travel around. He worked at multiple locations.
Was he pretty successful?
They didn't have
in his
burner phones?
Job?
He came up with a great business model for what he did, and he worked really hard and was very successful.
Hydration.
Was your brother known to carry a lot of cash?
I mean, he had cash on him sometimes. I never saw large sums of cash.
Did you ever see stapled cash?
I never saw stapled cash.
Were you familiar with his practice?
Oh man, the stapled cash. Apparently the money that was used to pay off the hitmen was $100 bills stapled into $1,000 stacks. And apparently they said that Donna took the cash and she was trying to wash the money. I guess wash the money so there's no fingerprints on there or something. So when the hit people and the person that hired the hitman was like, yeah, we got the cash, but it was like damp.
Practice of stapling cash together in stacks?
No, I never knew about that.
Really?
Was your brother Charlie protective of you?
When I was a little kid.
How much older is Charlie?
As an adult? I mean, not particularly.
Is it fair to say that during the year or so leading up to the murder of Dan Markell,
They had burner phones. Hitman probably would have given those numbers to the rental. Yeah, they rented the car and they use their actual. I mean, you have to though. When you rent a car, you have to give them your ID, your driver's license and stuff, and all your information. So, but yeah, I mean, the actual cell phone numbers. I mean, I think they would have gotten fucked anyways. You know. Oh yoy.
Let your brother
Oh
did not
yoy
like
yoy.
your ex?
I mean, I don't think he probably didn't like him, but I also think he didn't spend a lot of time thinking about him.
Did he ever like him?
Yeah, I mean, I think they got along fine.
Did your brother ever mention hiring a hitman to kill Dan Markell?
No.
I'm going to turn your attention to your law enforcement interview, and I'm referring to page 25, lines 13 through 15.
Oh, Wendi.
You find it?
Yes.
Quote, it was always his joke. He said, I looked into hiring a hitman, and it was cheaper to get you this TV. Is that what he said?
That was a joke that he made, yes.
And hiring the hitman, that was to kill Dan Markell, right? That was the joke.
That was the joke that he made in poor taste, yes.
Not to kill someone else.
No. Well, he never used his name.
Okay. Well, he's hiring you the TV because it's cheaper as a divorce present than a hitman. Who else would he...
Hold on. I'm going to use the restroom really quick, but if you guys are hanging out, I appreciate you guys here on YouTube and on Twitch. Don't forget to like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to use the bathroom. Give me a second. Okay, be right back. Look at this cute little corgi. Oh, you guys can't see him. That is so cute. Look at him. So small. Looks actually he's not small. He's a big ass corgi. Grandma Gotti turned out to be Dum Dum Corleone. Also, guys, I have a new YouTube video that's out right now. It's in a, like a storytelling format, and it's a case that I recently found out about, I think about like a month ago, and I just got like engulfed into it, and I really wanted to share the story with you guys because it's pretty wild. It's about Suzanne Morphew, who went missing on Mother's Day back in 2020, and her remains were actually found like 2 months ago. So I hope they reopen that case, and I hope they get the person that murdered her. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hi, Daniela. Georgia's awesome. Georgia was like in chill mode the entire time. Have y'all ever heard of the enmeshed family? Describes Adelsons, Murdochs. Would rely heavily on jury's trust in Jeff. Jeff. Who is Jeff again? Jeff. Is that her ex-boyfriend? Is that a detective? Who is Jeff? Was it too short? When I was editing, I was like, oh my God, it's over 1 hour long. I don't know if people are going to watch this. But then I was thinking like, I watch true crime videos that are an hour long. Because the ones that there are some that I watch that are 20 minutes and I feel like they like, I don't know, there's a lot of information that's like not in it. And if I know the case, it bothers me. If I don't know the case, I don't mind, right? Because you don't know what you're missing out on. Oh, should we listen to the boyfriend's testimony as well? I heard about that. I think the boyfriend mentioned that, or was it? No, I didn't watch his testimony. Someone told me that the boyfriend thought the family was trying to pin it on him. And then also it was like renting the Tesla because he also drives a Tesla or something like that. Or not Tesla, a Prius. Yeah, a Prius right there. Watch Jeff's interview. Should I watch Jeff's interview or should I watch Jeff's testimony on the stand? You just sent it in Discord? Okay. Wait, who messaged me? Oh. Hello, welcome. Is that you? Wait, I'm going to change your name. Should I change your name so I know who you are? Usually I like having people's names be the same on Discord and then on YouTube. Warrant PCA for Donna Adelson. Oh, I think we read this. The probable cause affidavit, right? I don't remember her saying that she didn't want to fork her phone over. What paragraph is that? Is that the second to last paragraph? At this time, the state will be seeking a search warrant for Donna Adelson's cell phone for any application of evidence involving moving money, accessing financial accounts, scheduling and booking travel plans to evade apprehension. Also by documents, files, and other items pertaining to the finances or financial obligations, adjustments made by the Adelsons or communications, photo, videos, or evidence related. You know what would piss off Donna Adelson? If Wendi was involved, Wendi also gets in trouble for this, and then the children end up with Dan Markle's family. That would piss her off so much. Oh my gosh. I wonder if she would just revoke their trust just so like his family doesn't get like some of that money. Because it's his children's money, yes, but they're under the care of the grandparents. I mean, I don't know, dude. We got lots of possibilities. Oh, okay. All right, guys, let's go back to the case. It's a little rattlesnake. It's like a little furry rattlesnake. They say that corgis are not hot dogs. Wiener dogs are hot dogs, but corgis are corn dogs. I'm like, oh my God, he is a corn dog. Looks like a fucking corn dog. Okay. All right, back to this.
Be hitting with the hitman.
I never really thought about it
because it's
no. Well, he never used his name.
Okay. Well, he's hiring you, the TV, because it's cheaper as a divorce present than a hitman. Who else would he be hitting with the hitman?
I never really thought about it because it was not a thing that he meant. He just made a bad joke.
Well, you repeated the joke, didn't you?
He repeated the joke.
Didn't you also repeat the joke?
To other people?
Yes, like Jeff Lacoste.
I never said that to Jeff Lacoste.
You didn't tell Jeff Lacoste that...
How long did her and Jeff Lacoste date for? Jeffrey Lacoste police interview, gold mine. The Marcos will sue for the money for the children and win big. Jeff's interview is a must watch. Okay, can you guys link the interview in my Discord? George is the polar opposite of
Your brother got you that TV as a divorce present because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman.
I may have repeated that joke in the context of the TV, yes.
All right, and who is Jeff Lacoste?
Jeff Lacoste was a person I dated
in
2013.
And did you tell Jeffrey Lacoste shortly before the actual murder that your brother really had looked into hiring a hitman?
I did not.
Did he buy you a TV as a divorce present?
Yeah, because I think Jeffrey Lacoste said that Wendi told him that, and she probably was not happy. She was probably not happy when she heard about that.
Did my brother buy me a TV as a divorce present?
Yes, sorry, I should have clarified that. And was the TV that your brother bought you as a divorce present the same TV that was being repaired on the morning of the murder?
Yes.
Did your mom text you that morning that the repair guy was coming to repair the TV?
I don't remember that.
God,
Why would your mom have been involved in your TV repair appointment?
Exactly.
Because I didn't purchase the TV. The TV was a gift that my brother paid for, but my mom went and got it and he reimbursed her. So the contract would have been under her name and her number. So when the repair guy...
Oh, I wonder that's... Where did she buy it? At Best Buy? I mean, they could just fact check this easily.
Was coming, they may have called or texted the number on the account instead of my number.
Okay. And after the murder, do you recall going to a dinner where you got sick at the table?
It was about a month later, and yes, I remember.
Where did that dinner occur? Was that here in Tallahassee or somewhere else?
No, it was in Miami.
All right. And was it like out at a restaurant?
It was at a restaurant.
All right. And when we say you got sick at the table, did you actually vomit at the table?
I threw up at the table.
All right. And did you ever hear your brother refer to that particular dinner as a celebratory dinner?
No.
Did you tell Jeffrey Lacoste that your brother called that a celebratory dinner?
Oh, the celebratory dinner. I heard about this too. Okay, how long is the interview? Yeah, maybe we'll watch that next.
Was that
Yes, sir.
Hearsay. Overruled.
Was that dinner a celebration of the murder of your ex-husband?
Absolutely not. That dinner was the first time I left my house after over a month because I was terrified. And if it was a celebration of anything, it was a celebration that I was willing to leave the house and eat a meal.
Do you know Catherine Magbanua, or have you ever met her?
I have met her.
Did you have an independent friendship with her, or did you only know her through your brother?
I only knew her through my brother.
What was her relationship to your brother?
They dated at some point.
But when did her and Jeff Lacoste break up?
Was there anything unusual about her as a girlfriend from your viewpoint at the time?
No.
So she seemed like a typical kind of girl that he would date?
She did.
Did you meet all his girlfriends?
I don't know. I met many girlfriends.
She looked a lot younger than he did.
Did you meet Whitney Kick?
I did.
Okay. And Whitney Kick was after Catherine Magbanua, correct?
I believe so.
All right. And there's a photograph, I'm sure you recall, of you on the beach with Catherine Magbanua. Do you recall when that photo was taken?
I do. It was Father's Day 2014, so 9 years ago.
June 15th of 2014?
That sounds right.
So about a month before the murder?
That sounds right.
Where was this photo taken?
It was in Miami. I went down to visit my dad for Father's Day.
Oh, okay. So they broke up before the murder, weeks before the murder, or days before the murder, and then they just thought that he was just like a disgruntled like ex-boyfriend or something. Gotcha.
Approaching and showing you what I've marked as States 35. Is this that photograph? And I've attached the data associated with it.
So they dated for like what, a year?
Is there an accurate copy of that photograph?
Yes.
2013 and 2014?
States 35.
Okay. States 35.
All right, is that you in the center?
That's me.
Which one's Catherine Magbanua?
Is that her? Oh wow, she looks like maybe it's just like the darkness. She looks like she's like in her 20s in that picture. Oh, how old should she have been? What is she? What is Wendi now? Like 40s? Oh, maybe
the
30s.
One on the left, our left in the picture.
And how long had Ms. Magbanua been dating your brother at the time this photo was taken?
I have no idea.
How many times had you met Ms. Magbanua at the time this was taken?
I think once before.
Okay, how many times did you hang out with her total?
Just these 2 times. Once at the dinner when I met her, and then once at the beach for an hour.
Was the relationship between your brother and Catherine Magbanua serious?
So for those of you guys who don't know, Catherine Magbanua is this guy's ex-girlfriend, and she was the one that hired her baby daddy and his best friend to do the hitman on Dan Markel.
No.
I don't know. I mean, 10 years ago, was it serious? Not too serious?
It never stood out to you during that time frame as like, oh, this is the one?
No.
All right, so you mentioned you thought Whitney Kick was after Catherine Magbanua. What about June Umchinda? Do you know which one that is?
Is June the baby mama?
She's not in the picture.
No, ma'am. You're one of your brother's girlfriends, June Umchinda. Do you know her?
I met someone named June.
Okay, and would you agree that was also after Catherine Magbanua?
Yes, that would have been after.
When did you learn that Catherine Magbanua was blackmailing your brother for the murder of your ex-husband?
Today.
So he never told you?
No.
You testified in Catherine Magbanua's murder trial last year, didn't you?
I did, yes.
And she was convicted?
She was convicted, yes.
Of murder?
Yes, of murder.
Of murdering Dan Markel?
Of murdering my children's father, yes.
A crime for which she apparently is innocent because she was just a conduit for Sigfredo Garcia. Did you learn that today along with all of us?
Well, I learned that someone made that argument. I don't know whether it's true or not true.
Okay. You have no knowledge of it?
I have no knowledge.
In all the years this has been pending?
In all of the years this has been pending.
Your brother has known who killed your child's father, and you didn't know?
I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why Catherine Magbanua was on the payroll at the Adelson Institute?
I believe that she worked there.
What did she do there?
I know my brother met her at a dental office, so I'm guessing administrative work of some kind.
Did you ever observe her doing administrative work there?
No.
How did the killers in this case know that Dan Markel was planning to leave town the day after the killing?
I have no idea.
Yeah, if I was Jeff too, I'd be scared too. If I thought that they murdered Dan Markel and then he might be next, and you know they both dated Wendi, like this is a batshit crazy family who thought they were the mafia apparently. When he started dating Jeff in 2013, she dumped him 2 days before the murder to make it look like he freaked out and killed Dan because Dan heard Wendi. Oh, interesting.
You knew he was planning to leave town the next day, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Did you convey that information to anyone?
Absolutely not.
To your knowledge, did your brother have that information?
I don't know why he would have known that.
So if the killers were told it has to be done today because he's leaving town tomorrow, we don't know how they knew that.
I have no idea how they knew that.
But it would have to come from someone familiar with Dan Markel's schedule, wouldn't it?
they would have to find out somehow. I don't know how.
Prior to Dan Markel's murder, when were you last in South Florida? Was it this trip that's pictured here?
No, because it was my dad's 70th birthday in early July, so I would have gone down to celebrate his birthday.
Okay, when's Dad's birthday?
July 5th.
How long were you down there for that July 5th trip?
I don't really remember offhand, but my guess is about a week.
Did you see Charlie Adelson on that trip?
Yes. We celebrated my dad's birthday, the whole family and friends, everybody.
Did you see Catherine McVanoa on that trip?
I don't remember if she was there or not.
Did Dad have a birthday party?
Dad had a birthday party.
Was it a big birthday?
It was his 70th birthday.
And was Catherine McVanoa at the party?
I don't remember seeing her there.
Oh, were we
Do
in
you
her
remember seeing
pictures?
June Umchinda at the party?
I don't.
Or Whitney Kick at the party?
I don't.
So it could have been any one of them or none of them.
Or none of them. I don't remember there being a girlfriend with him at the party.
All right, so you said the birthday was what, July 5th?
It would have been July 5th.
Okay. And do you know on what day you celebrated?
Maybe his birthday, if it was, I felt like it was a weekend, so maybe if July 5th was a Saturday, then it was on his actual birthday.
Luis's proffer, super interesting. What did he say? That's one of the hitmen, right?
Okay, tell me about the event. You said there were family and friends there, about how many people?
Maybe like 50 people.
What was on the menu?
We had paella.
Were you responsible for securing the paella, or is that your brother's job, or someone else?
I didn't arrange it, but I speak Spanish and no one else could communicate with him, so I spent some time helping him. That's why I remember what we ate.
Okay. Did your dad get any big gifts for his 70th?
I don't remember.
So there was no big lead up and discussion about some big gift that you were involved in, at least?
I don't remember. I don't remember if I gave him a present. I hope I did.
Do you remember what anybody gave him for that birthday?
I really don't.
Was the murder of Dan Markel your dad's big gift?
Oh,
I mean, that's, of course not. That's a horrible thing to say.
What about the grandchildren, getting full unfettered access to the grandchildren?
My
Could that have
parents
been
had
the
full
big
unfettered
gift?
access to their grandchildren, always.
Not when they lived in Tallahassee.
Well, whenever they could come up and see them, they did.
They were 50% of the time with Dan Markel, right?
Sure, but whenever they were with me, they had full unfettered access.
On the occasion that we're talking about Dad's birthday, was that one of the times that when you came back to Tallahassee, your parents rode with you and then rented a car and drove home in the rental car?
It was.
Lewis recognized Wendi walking by Dan's house during first attempt. Is Lewis the neighbor then? Who was Lewis? How did she try to place her ex-boyfriend at the scene?
And how long a drive is that?
It's about 7 hours.
During that 7-hour trip, or at any time you were in South Florida, was there any discussion of a murder at all?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Wendy's phone being tapped. I just don't know. Maybe they did and hasn't been presented yet, but I didn't hear anything about that.
Any discussion of what to do about Dan?
No.
Any further discussion about bribing, converting to Christianity, any of those strategies?
No, that ship had long sailed.
The hitman driver?
Any discussion on that trip about the pending motion to preclude your mom from having contact with the kids?
No.
What was wrong with the TV that was repaired the morning of the murder?
I think one of my boys might have thrown something at it. There was like a little crack in the TV.
How long had the TV been broken at the time that it got repaired?
I honestly don't remember.
Could it have been a long time, quite a long time?
No, it could have been. I mean, I would be completely speculating. I don't remember how long it was broken for.
Do you remember who repaired the TV?
Yes, it was called the Geek Squad.
Oh, do they have records?
Do you remember the window that the Geek Squad gave you for when they were going to be at your home to do this repair?
I do. I think they said it was 8 to 12 or 9 to 1, something like that.
Okay. Would you agree with me if I told you it was 8 to 12?
That sounds right.
All right. And do you recall what time the repairman actually arrived?
No, but I remember they came on the early side.
Okay. And was the repair done?
No.
Why not?
Because I called my brother to find out how much a new TV would cost versus how much the repair cost, and it didn't make sense to repair it.
It's cheaper to buy a new TV.
Yeah.
Oh, Donna speaks Spanish as well?
The records indicate the repairman was there for about 45 minutes. Does that sound accurate to you?
Sure. That's my best. Sure.
Why was he there for that long, just to tell you, like, this thing can't be repaired, or it's cost prohibitive to repair? Do you remember?
I don't. My guess is he was there to try to see how he could repair the TV, and then he gave me an estimate, and then I found out what the estimate compared to the cost of the new TV would be.
Who paid the repairman?
I did.
The repairman, you're familiar with his statement that you seemed really upset that day. What were you upset about?
I have no idea.
Maybe
were
she
you
was
upset
nervous.
that day?
I don't remember being. Oh, yes, I was upset that day. I was upset. I remember Danny wanted to take the kids swimming, and I wanted to pick them up earlier in the day.
Okay,
and
so nothing to do with the TV.
I don't think so. I probably wasn't that upset about the TV.
Wait, so do you think they purposely broke this TV, set up so the repair guy would show up there just so they can speak about this TV code within her and her family? Like all this just so they can actually like have a real TV that's actually broken, but then they want to use TV as a code for the murder of Dan Markel? She's a repairman. Oh, as an alibi. Okay, dual purpose there. Nasty theory. Oh, God.
Did you ever use the TV as code for the murder?
Sounds too smart.
Did you ever hear your mom do that?
No.
But I wish we had some audio recordings of them planning this. They probably thought they were such like mastermind fucking geniuses, you know, like part of the mafia and shit. Like, dude, they they thought they were so smart. Probably the TV broke and used it as a code after. Yeah, that's a possibility as well. Maybe. Or they just fucking broke it. I wonder now the kids are older. The kids might be like, I didn't break the damn TV. I don't know what happened. Mom broke the TV. She was pissed and she threw something at it. I don't know why she's blaming it on me.
Did you ever hear your mom do that?
No.
Using the TV code for
murder. Do you
murder.
remember on July 13th, 2014, seeing Jeffrey Lacasse at your place on Aqua Ridge? Do you even remember that evening?
I don't remember seeing him at my place because by that point we were kind of broken up, so I don't think I would have seen him at my place.
All right. So on that occasion, you couldn't have told him you wanted to share something with him in confidence?
I think
July
that was very
13th?
unlikely. We had kind of broken up at that point.
And you couldn't have told him at that time the statement about your brother really did look into hiring the hitman?
I can't imagine I would have said that.
And when did you break
Oh, so July 13th is a couple days before the murder. He was murdered on July 19th.
up with Mr. Lacasse, or when did the two of you break up?
It would have been end of June 2014.
So not 4 days before the murder?
No.
All right, so end of June 2014 would have been the last time you saw him.
No. I saw him after that. We were talking and kind of figuring out what we wanted to do, but we had gone on a trip to Gainesville the last weekend in June, at which point we had a big argument, and I really didn't want to be with him after that. So at that point for me, I was pretty much done, but there were more discussions until it, formally ended.
And when was the formal end?
I remember seeing him that Monday night and telling him I wanted to have some space.
Okay, so
4
4 days
days
before the murder?
So 4 days before Danny was killed.
All right, and that was that the end of your relationship with him?
When I told him I wanted some space, yeah.
Okay.
Where did you go after the TV repair man left?
After he left, I stayed at the house for a while, and I was working on some pieces of writing. I was talking with various friends. I had a friend in town interviewing for a job at FSU. I was making plans to go meet her. The time got too close before her interview. And then I had two friends that I would often meet on Fridays, just kind of last minute. And so we made plans to go have lunch.
All right.
They planned the whole thing over the paella. When Georgia asked Charlie about TV being code, he said, I wish she would have used any other word, but why would she have used any other word if she was actually talking about a TV? Was that in one of the the phone calls that they tapped?
All right, so what time did you leave the house to go have lunch?
I really didn't remember offhand, but I refreshed my memory and saw it was sometime around 12:45.
Okay, so it makes sense that you might have left your residence at about 12:30?
Sure.
Okay, and did you go to the crime scene or very near the crime scene on your way from your residence to
here we
to
go
lunch or to wherever you were going next?
No, I did not.
So you never turned on Trescott Drive that day?
I went to turn on Trescott Drive, but I saw that it had been blocked off by some tape, and so I just kept driving on Centerville.
Okay, and when you had to turn around at the tape, right, to go back out?
I think I tried to turn right, and it couldn't turn, so I would have made like a...
Yeah, so that's what my understanding, that there was tape at the scene, but the tape wasn't like blocking off the entire road. You would have to actually get pretty close to the house in order to see the tape. That's my understanding of it. Hold on, I gotta write some of these notes down. Oh my God. 4 days before murder. Can't type today. Wendi and Jeff L. They break up. Okay.
But kind of turn, like a K-turn.
Sorry, I'm gonna go back with the tape thing.
So you never turned on Trescott Drive that day?
I went to turn on Trescott Drive, but I saw that it had been blocked off by some tape, and so I just kept driving on Centerville.
Okay, and when you had to turn around at the tape, right, to go back out?
I think I tried to turn right, and it couldn't turn, so I would have made like a kind of turn, like a K-turn, and kept going.
Was there a roadblock there?
There was tape.
Yeah, and an officer was there?
I didn't see an officer, but I did see a car.
A law enforcement marked vehicle? Okay, did you have any contact with the officer?
No.
Okay. Did you do anything after that to try to find out what was going on down that roadway?
No, I just assumed it was weather, or maybe a tree fell.
Had there been bad weather that day?
No, but it was summertime, and there's electrical storms and trees fall, so that would have been pretty normal for summertime.
Where were your kids supposed to be at the time that you encountered that roadblock?
They would have been at school.
And that's at the creative preschool?
That's right.
Who took them to preschool that day?
Danny.
And who was supposed to pick them up from preschool that day?
Me.
All right, so...
No, she does not. She wears blue contact? No, she does not. No way. Jeff's interview for all the incriminating evidence against Wendi. The road was, that's what I heard. I heard that the road was actually not blocked. Maybe, we'll wait for Georgia to get there. Georgia's probably taking us there. Come on, Georgia, take us there.
So did you know for sure that they had made it to preschool that day at the time you encountered the roadblock?
I just assumed. If they hadn't made it to preschool, Danny would have let me know, but...
Did you attempt to call Dan Markell when you encountered the roadblock?
No, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was related to the house.
Had you talked to Dan Markell or your kids that morning?
My kids no, but that would have been normal. And Danny and I tried to get in touch with each other, but we left. We were trying to figure out where Ben was going to go to kindergarten at the time, and we left voicemails for each other but didn't get to talk.
Okay. Did he leave you a voicemail message that morning?
He did.
Okay. I asked you earlier about him being scheduled to leave town the day after he was killed. Do you know where he was planning to go?
He was going to New York to see his girlfriend.
The message that he left you that morning, do you remember what he told you in the message?
I mean, I think it was about our son's school. Other than that, I don't really remember.
Okay. Included in that was it included in that message that he was heading to the gym and was going to be at the gym between 9:15 and 10:30?
I mean, not like it matters or anything, but I only see her with blue eyes. Someone says that she wore like a more teal color to make her blue eyes stand out more. I don't know. I mean, not like it matters, but do you have a picture of her with brown eyes?
That morning?
I really don't remember, but that sounds like it could be what he would leave.
Okay. Would it refresh your recollection to review a transcript of that voicemail?
Sure.
So did he say in that voicemail that he left you what his plans were in regards to the gym that day?
He did.
What exactly did he say about the gym?
About the gym, he said, I'm going to be at the gym probably between 9:15 and 10:30, but I'm happy to chat or meet with you. Maybe we can go for a walk at school or something like that. Let me know.
Okay. So that particular voicemail doesn't sound very emotionally abusive. Would you agree with that?
No, by this point in time, we were parenting really well and we were doing just fine.
Getting along great.
Georgia says, getting along great. That was that sarcasm in her tone.
I'll strike a comment, Your Honor. Did you talk to your brother on the day of your ex-husband's murder?
Georgia being a little snarky.
And about what time of day did you speak to him?
It would have been right after the repair guys were there, because that's when I called him to ask him whether I should get the TV repaired or buy a new TV. So
Okay.
it would have been morning.
How long did you talk to him?
I don't remember.
Does 18 minutes sound incorrect?
That sounds reasonable.
Okay. Did you talk to him about other things other than just the TV?
I really don't remember what else I talked to him about, but probably
Hey,
maybe I
a
would have
mess
asked him
trick?
about his work, or we would have caught up.
Did you happen to mention Dan Markel's plans to go to New York the next day?
I don't see why I would have.
Or is it Ms. Tricks? Ms. Tricks? Hello.
Or we would have caught up.
Did you happen to mention Dan Markel's plans to go to New York the next day?
I don't see why I would have.
Did you have WhatsApp on your phone at that time?
I don't know if in 2014 I had
Oh,
WhatsApp.
do they use WhatsApp to
Now we use
communicate?
it for all the parent chats at school, so everybody seems to have it, but I don't know if everybody had it back in 2014.
What is WhatsApp?
WhatsApp is kind of an app you would use for texting.
Do you know if your brother Charlie had it at that time?
I have no idea if he had it at that time.
Did you ever communicate with Charlie through WhatsApp?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. If I had it at that time or if I had it later, I probably would have.
Just not sure.
Yeah,
Did you have any contact of any kind with Catherine McVanois on the day of Dan Markel's murder?
No.
Did you ever communicate with her through WhatsApp?
No, I never communicated with her at all.
All right, let's talk about, well, you communicated with her on the beach.
I saw her in person, but I'm saying I never texted with her, called her. I never communicated via a device other than in person.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be very curious to see what's on Wendy's phone. I can't believe someone else could have done that to someone else, especially like the father of your kids, you know, father of the grandchildren. Like, oh, it's just fucking horrible. I'm doing good. How are you? Hello, hello. Maybe we can watch Donna's trial together. What is 18 minutes long?
What about when you were talking to your brother? Did she ever get on the phone and speak to you?
I don't think so.
Okay. I want to talk about where you went when you left your residence on the day of the murder. You tried to turn on to Trescott, and then you ended up where?
I went, I was supposed to go to a party that night, a Stock the Bar party, so I went to a liquor store to pick up what they had asked for as the present for their party.
Oh, here we go.
So I went to the liquor store, I picked up the alcohol, I stopped, I think I got gas, and then I went to lunch to meet my friends.
And the liquor store purchase appears to have occurred at 12:49 based on the receipt. Do you have any reason to dispute that
No,
timing?
that sounds right.
Okay. And then from there to the restaurant?
Yes.
And where was the restaurant located?
Mosaic, I actually don't remember. I just remember I would go north on Thomasville Road.
All right.
And so it's,
And is the restaurant where law enforcement came to speak with you and you ended up going with them to the police station, right?
that's correct.
Oh man, should I map this out? I wonder if it's on
Do
Reddit.
you agree or disagree that there have been some financial benefits to you and your boys as a result of Dan's death?
I disagree.
When did you decide to change the names of your children from Markel to Adelson?
So after Danny's
Like a
murder, there
year
was a lot
after?
of news. It just hit the media, and there were news stories everywhere. And Nancy Grace on CNN put pictures of my boys with their faces unblurred, just pictures of them. And I was terrified. And so when they started school, I started school with my last name, thinking that would keep them safe, that they wouldn't be associated with the murder.
Wasn't the Adelson name in the press just
It
as
was
much
not in
as
the press.
Markel?
Not yet.
Oh, hold on a second. That's actually a pretty fucking good explanation. That's actually a pretty good explanation. However, let's see if Georgia says that, like, oh, actually, the Adelson name was also in the press. But that's actually a pretty good explanation that she gives, because I thought it was really shitty that she changed her children's last name. Well, no, it was like a year after, though. wasn't the children already kind of like wasn't the Markel name already in the press? Wouldn't it have been in the press within that first year? I don't know. It depends on when this Nancy Grace segment happened, I guess.
Do you agree that you legally changed the kids' names on July 6th of 2015?
That sounds right.
A year
So it was
later.
actually a year after the homicide.
A year after.
When was the last time you talked to your mom? Did you talk to her today, yesterday?
I talked to her yesterday.
In her emails, and we referenced one of them while you've been here on the stand, she talks about you giving performances and playing roles. Did you discuss anything about what you would do here today in court with your mother?
Oh, she started them in school with the last name Adelson, but then legally changed it a year later. Can you do that actually? Can you do that? If it's not legally changed, can you just enroll your children as like a different last name?
No.
Were you involved in any way in the plot to kill your ex-husband?
Absolutely not.
Did you know what was going to happen, but maybe not know the details?
I knew nothing.
Is that why you went to the crime scene on the day of the homicide?
I did not go to the crime scene on the day of the homicide.
Do you know who all was involved in the murder?
Well, I learned today, but at the time, no.
Okay. Have you ever privately confronted your brother about his role or possible role in the murder?
My attorney has advised me not to have conversations with anyone in my family about the case.
But you had a close relationship with your brother at the time of the murder, right?
I absolutely had a close relationship with my brother.
And how soon after the murder did your lawyer advise you not to talk to your family about it?
In 2016.
Oh, were one of the boys' names Dan for the middle name, and he dropped the? Oh God, yeah, that's pretty fucking petty. But like I said, she probably really hated him. Oh.
Okay, so what about the 2 years in between? Did you talk to him about it then?
I feel bad for the
talked to
Markel
him
family.
about the fact that a murder occurred, but I guess I don't understand the question.
But you never talked to him about the suspicions you raised in the law enforcement interview that your brother might have done it.
No, I did not.
You suspected your brother could have been a part of this, right?
I suspected lots of people could have been a part of it.
But he was one of the people, right?
While I was talking with law enforcement for 6 hours, terrified out of my mind.
Oh, not okay. It wasn't Dan's name, but it was like someone that was like in Dan's family. Gotcha.
Offered them every possible idea.
Right?
While I was talking with law enforcement for 6 hours, terrified out of my mind, I offered them every possible idea I could come up with.
Right. And one of the possible ideas was that
What's
your
your
brother
family?
could have murdered your child's father.
I didn't
right?
really believe that was possible.
But you brought it up. You said it. How would you have said
Is
it?
part of the plot for you to be able to have plausible deniability about this?
Absolutely not.
Is it better for both you and your brother if you don't know the details of this?
I don't even understand the question that you're asking me.
When did you first become aware that you might be a suspect in this case?
I mean, as the ex-wife, I assumed I was a suspect from the beginning.
What was your first thought when you were asked if anyone might have murdered Dan Markel for your benefit?
I thought, oh my God, maybe if I hadn't divorced him, he would still be alive. Maybe this is my fault because I complained to the wrong person. Maybe Danny gave a student a bad grade and they came after him. I just was trying to think of who possibly could have wanted to hurt him.
But you didn't say any of that before. I mean, the first thing you said was Charlie, right?
I don't think so.
Page 25 of your interview, line 5 through 15. Do you have any reason to dispute? Page 25, not 5 hours into it. You say Charlie might have done it, right?
Can I see, please?
You may.
Yeah, let's refresh your memory.
What I say here is that he would never do it. Right under the highlighted part, I say no, he would never.
Page 25, line 5 through 15. I mean, my brother, the one, his name is Charlie, the one I'm really close to. He makes a lot of jokes in that taste, and it was a joke he made. He bought the TV for me this morning that got broken, and then I was talking to him about whether
Ew, look at Charlie. Look at it. He's like, yeah, see, that absolves me.
it made sense to pay or fix it, or whether I should get a new one. And it was always his joke that, like, he knew that Danny always treated me badly, and it was always his joke. He said, I looked into hiring a hitman, and it was cheaper to get you this TV, so instead I got you this TV. And you do say you don't think he would do it, but can we agree you brought up his name on page 25 of the interview?
I did.
When asked, would you ever ask someone to do something like this? You say not in a million years. When asked, okay, do you think someone would do this for your benefit without asking you? You say no. And when Isom starts to ask you what good does it serve, you say, I mean my brother, the one, his name is Charlie. Isn't that how it went?
This is the transcript, but I think there's also inaccuracies in the transcription.
Oh boy. All right. Do you want the culpable parties held accountable for murdering the father of your children?
Absolutely. I'm grateful they're already in jail.
But not if it's your family.
It's not my family.
I mean, somebody hired him, right?
Not necessarily.
Somebody paid him.
I learned something this morning.
Yeah, me too. You didn't want him held accountable if it was your family members. Didn't you tell law enforcement that?
That's not what I told law enforcement.
What did you tell law enforcement?
I told them that the person who did this should be held responsible and that I had nothing to do with it.
Page 122, lines 7 through 12. If somebody tried to kill my ex-husband, they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. The investigator says regardless of who it is, and your answer is, I mean, it would be different if I thought it were my brother.
But I don't think it was my family. Is what
Different now, isn't it?
No, it's not different. That's exactly
different
what
today,
I said
isn't
right
it?
here. No, that's not
No
right.
further questions.
Oof, Georgia. What is this? Do we care about this part, the cross-examination? This is the cross-examination done by Charlie Adelson's lawyer. Do we care about this, or do we want to go to Charlie's testimony next? Or actually, she does get a redirect. We can listen to George's redirect. I don't know if I really care from his lawyer. Go to Charlie. Do we want to listen to the redirect from... Let's see, does Georgia get back up on there? Charlie's lawyer. Law and crime trials. Okay. I might read... I hope there's transcripts. I might just read the transcript instead. That would be easier for me than watching like hundreds of hours of videos. If I could just read the transcript, that would be great. Okay, Donna's there. By the way, Law and Crime made like, is this a new channel? Or I just never knew about this? Law and Crime Trials. I love it. All right. Let me see if I can find redirect. Georgia. Do we listen to opening statements actually in this case? I don't think we did we? Testimony part 2. Do
you recall that?
Okay, so we got where's Georgia at? Georgia's not here yet. Georgia? Where you at, Georgia? Where you at, Georgia? Oh, I see Georgia. She back. Georgia. Georgia's here. All right, Georgia's here. Let me get my transcripts up. Okay. Really? They're too long?
The long list of plans that you went over with Mr. Rashbaum that you were going to have in Tallahassee.
This is short.
Murder date. None of those plans happened, right?
No.
Because you moved to South Florida, right?
Because I felt unsafe to stay here, yes.
And did you feel safe in South Florida?
No.
Did you buy a house in Tallahassee after the murder?
No, I did not.
Did you rent a house in Tallahassee after the murder?
No, I didn't live in Tallahassee after the murder.
Did the boys go to school that fall here in Tallahassee?
No, all our plans were broken.
And what was the purpose of those questions? Of course you didn't. You moved to South Florida. You didn't have plans in Tallahassee that got executed. Why were you asked about all these things?
I don't know why I was asked questions by the defense counsel.
The book event that you were asked about, did that event happen?
I didn't speak at the event, but the event still happened.
Have you had several events related to that book that have happened?
I have.
And what events were those?
Do you mean just in Tallahassee or do you mean in other places?
Everywhere.
I've spoken at various schools about human trafficking and about my book. I think there was one event that still happened in Tallahassee about a year later.
And is that the only book you've written, or have you written more than one book?
I've only written one book.
What was the book about?
The book was about human trafficking and about the vulnerabilities that lead to trafficking, the problems when it occurs, and basically how to recover from it after.
Where was the book set?
It was set in a fictional town.
2011 was when the book was originally published. Okay, so 3 years before the murder.
What was the name of the fictional town?
Hiawassee Springs.
So Hiawassee. Is it located in the panhandle of Florida?
No, I used to see the name when I was driving from Tallahassee to Orlando, so it's somewhere in between.
And was the place modeled after Tallahassee?
It was definitely somewhere in Florida, but not supposed to be about Tallahassee, no.
Who was the central character in that book?
So there's 3 central characters. One was one of my clients, kind of a composite character from Eastern Europe. One was kind of a composite character of many clients I represented from Latin America. And one was a public interest lawyer.
And was the public interest lawyer Lily?
Yes.
And is that the character that's sort of based after yourself?
No, really more based after a friend of mine.
And was Hiawassee, Florida, quote, just a small stop on the way back to what we had previously known as civilization? Is that a quote from your book?
That sounds like a quote from my book, yeah.
And who's the husband of Lily, the public interest lawyer?
You want his name in the book?
Yes.
I think it was Josh Stone.
All right, and what was Josh's?
When he traveled almost a mile down the road to get to the tape, I wonder, should I just map it? I don't remember what was the name of the two roads again. Well, I think I remember hearing Centerville and... Shoot, I should have taken notes about this.
Employment.
Josh was an English professor.
I'm sorry, what was your answer?
Josh was an English professor.
Or, you know what? I feel like maybe Reddit has already made a map of Wendy's route. If you guys can find it for me, let me know.
Where did he teach?
It's been a while. I wrote the book over 10 years ago. I don't remember what I named the university in the
North
story.
Florida State University?
That sounds right.
NFSU?
NFSU sounds right, yeah.
All right. And in the book, does Lily lament, quote, "We moved to this godforsaken place for Josh's career"?
Yes, that sounds like a line Lily would say.
All right. When you looked at page 187 of the divorce document on cross, and I'll hand that back to you. This is actually my copy. Just turn back to 187.
Oh, someone actually did a drive. Can you link it in the Discord?
Do you see the quote that you read previously from that page?
I don't.
Okay. It had to do with, let's see if I can find it, that you were very unhappy in the marriage. I think it's the third paragraph there.
I see that line.
Okay, the wife has been very unhappy in the marriage and files her petition for dissolution of marriage in August 2012. The husband continues to characterize this as abandonment, and then goes on to say that he had been disparaging you to some of the folks at the law school. Do you remember reading that?
I do.
Was that intended to be the place in this binder where you allege emotional abuse by your husband?
I mean, I think it's emotionally abusive to suggest somebody has mental health.
You're talking about Corey Richards? That's what I made the comparison to. Corey Richards thought she was like this mastermind of like crime shit, and, you know, probably the Adelson family as well. Trying to direct people to say this, say that. Like, oh gosh.
Abuse?
Can't wait for that one.
Your husband?
I mean, I think it's emotionally abusive to suggest somebody has mental health issues.
Okay. What is the Prof's blog? You were asked about that on Cross.
Yeah, it was a blog that Danny started with some of his colleagues to kind of promote community in the law professor world.
And who reads the Prof's?
Probably
Prof's blog?
other law professors and people interested in becoming law professors.
Who is on the Crim Prof listserv?
I don't know.
Were you on the listserv for that Prof's blog?
I don't know. Maybe she didn't actually read a book. Maybe it was like a ghostwriter or something.
I may have been on the listserv at some point.
Do you remember seeing the post that you were shown on Cross?
I do.
And the post says something about Danny and I are planning to attend a conference that will begin Sunday, July 20th. Is there any other information on what you were shown about Dan's travel plans post-murder other than that?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat the question?
The post says, Danny and I guess it's another professor writing this thing, Danny and I are planning to attend a conference that will begin Sunday, July 20th. Is that the type of information that he would typically have on something like the Prof's blog or Facebook?
That sounds right.
Okay, but as far as the date he's leaving, the flight he's on, that kind of stuff, would that typically be on the Prof's blog?
He wouldn't put what flight number he was on, but he would almost always communicate when he was going on a trip.
Okay, so going to a conference that starts July 20th might be an example.
Flying to New York tomorrow would be an example.
Okay. But
not,
he didn't
not
put
a flight number.
But he didn't put flying to New York tomorrow on this occasion.
No.
You were referenced several times, not on direct examination by the state, but by your brother's attorney on cross as a co-conspirator. Are you charged in this case?
No.
This isn't your trial, is it?
No.
Is your brother charged with conspiring with you to do a murder?
No.
Is he charged with conspiring with you to plan a murder?
No.
Is he charged with soliciting you to do a murder?
No.
Who is he charged with doing those things with?
I don't think anyone.
Have you had an opportunity to review his indictment in this case?
I have not.
An opportunity to take a look at that document to yourself.
Listen, I think it's just one of those things where it's like she hated him so much that she wanted to get the satisfaction of confirming with her own eyes that he was gone, he was dead, there's police tape, police everywhere. I don't know. That's the feeling that I was getting. The satisfaction.
Who is your brother alleged to have done these crimes with?
Catherine D. Magbanua.
Were you on the wire in this case, Ms. Adelson?
No.
So when the bump happened, are you familiar with the event I'm referencing as the bump?
I am now.
When law enforcement approached your mother on the street and handed her a piece of paper?
Like, I don't know, which is like so stupid because they went through such great lengths of hiding the murder, speaking in codes, scheduling the TV thing, but she just couldn't get over the fact that she wanted to see him dead. Probably that's what it seems like. Like she couldn't resist the urge.
Yes.
Okay. When that occurred, who did your mother call?
I don't know.
Not you, right?
Not me.
Okay. And once your brother found out about the bump, did he call you about it?
No.
Who did he call?
I don't know.
Well, you listened to the calls to authenticate the voices, didn't you?
Just to hear the voices, not to hear the content of the calls.
Okay. And the voices were your brother's voice, right?
Nancy Grace did not put up pictures of the children up. No way. I wonder if I could find that segment. Nancy Grace segment. Oh, I don't know. She probably covered so many times though. Yeah, I wonder if they can actually, if someone can actually find the Nancy Grace segment. I don't know. I have to go through the Twitter. I'm sure. Sorry, not Twitter. There has to be like a Reddit about the Adelsons that has like a lot of this information. And the TV shows, the criminal always goes back to the crime scene.
But
look at
I
Koberger.
listened to the calls just to hear who was on them, so I don't know
Also
what
not a good
content
look.
they're referencing.
I heard your answer. My question to you now is your brother's voice was on the calls.
Ooh,
He was
go
on some of
Georgia.
the calls I listened to.
Your mother's voice was on the calls.
She was on some of the calls I listened to.
Did you have any secret meetings with your brother post bump that happened in South Florida?
No.
Dan had a girlfriend?
You were asked about Jeffrey Lacasse and the way that your relationship ended. What is OkCupid?
OkCupid is a dating website.
Were you on that dating website?
I was.
Were you on that dating website at the time that you were dating Mr. Lacasse?
No, I wasn't.
And were you speaking, so I guess if you weren't on it, you weren't speaking to multiple men from the website during the time you were dating Mr. Lacasse. And I'll remind you that you provided your phone in this case and it was cell-brighted, downloaded.
Argument. Approach.
Didn't
She was
you
on Who Wants to Be a
just
Millionaire?
say that you weren't on OkCupid at the time that you were dating Jeffrey Lacasse?
I don't know when we say I officially stopped dating Jeff Lacasse, but there's a chance that, I don't remember in 2014 whether I had gotten the app and started talking to people before
I
we
don't say
officially
anything
broke
about
up.
that.
Okay, so my point is there's a chance that he was right. You were being unfaithful or at least talking to other people. He had a reason to be jealous.
I think he had some serious jealousy issues that may or may not have been founded.
Yeah, I think we got from your testimony that you believe he had serious jealousy issues. My question to you is, did he have a reason to be?
No.
So he was wrong.
He was wrong in June when he accused me of being with multiple people that I wasn't with, yes.
Okay. What was wrong with Dan's mother trying to make arrangements for the kids in the event of your arrest? Wasn't that a kind thing to do?
I don't think it's kind to put my children in foster care.
Wasn't the foster care intended only to cover the time frame that it would take for her to get on a plane and get here?
She never said that.
You thought she was just going to leave them in foster care?
I didn't know what to think. They have a mother. They don't need to be in foster care.
But they wouldn't have a mother in the event of your arrest, Ms. Adelson. Wasn't that the intention of the email?
I don't know what the intent of the email was. I was not going to be arrested for a crime I didn't commit.
She didn't know that, though, did she?
I don't know what she knows or doesn't know. I can't speak to that.
Do Dan's parents know whether you committed this crime or not?
I don't know how to answer that question.
How would they? Particularly back at the time that she sent that email. It was fresh at that time, right?
I'm sorry, what was fresh?
All the events that were occurring, the arrests.
That was 2 years after Danny's murder. I don't know what she knew or didn't know. I know that my children don't belong in foster care.
Was it a specific foster care that she was requesting be called in the event that the children had no place to go and were going to be going into the custody of the state?
She did suggest a specific foster care agency.
A Jewish-run foster care agency.
A Jewish foster care.
Wait, what? What was that cutoff? Was that it? Is there a part 3? Why did it cut off like that? Was there a part 3 or was that it? Oh, was that just it? Hold on.
Have in Tallahassee post murder date. None of this.
Was that it? Lady, hi. What are you cooking today? There's more?
That?
Why did it cut off like that? Ay, ay, ay.
I did hear that.
And that would be you, right?
It would.
Were you told that a specific threat had been made by the same people that had killed your ex-husband to kill your brother's family members?
I was not told.
Oh gosh, now I have to go find it. George is so over Wendi. June changed their testimony. Is June the baby mama, the nanny or something? Or just like an ex-girlfriend? I didn't know they had Jewish foster centers. Hi, Surf J. How are you doing today? Wait, okay. Oh God. Law and crime. Adelson trial. Dan was dating Amy Adler, New York law professor, sister of designer Jonathan Adler. Day 1. Do you guys know what day did Charlie Adelson takes a stand on day 6? Charlie Adelson, day 7. All right, let's do day 2. Who's on day 2? Day 2. Wendi Adelson testifies. Okay, so I think we're on day 3. Day 3. Day 3. Oh boy. I had COVID during this trial. I wish I watched it live. Okay, Catherine McBanwell. How was Catherine McBanwell's testimony? Corbett. Where's Wendi Adelson? Luis Rivera testifies on day 3. Day 2. Okay, Wendi. Jury sent to lunch. Oh, Jeffrey Lacoste. I see Jeffrey. Wendi Adelson. Prosecution's witness. Are we here? Her testimony was a mess. Jeffrey Lacoste goes twice. June Chimda. Defense. Why is it like all mixed up like this? Defense cross of Wendi Adelson. Redirect. Oh God. It's like that little sliver. Sorry, I'm trying to click on this.
Please call your next witness.
Jeffrey Lacoste.
Okay. Jesus. Why is this timestamp so funky? June Chimda. Is she Thai? Chimda sounds like a Thai last name. Did Charlie have a thing for like Asian chicks? Wendi. Prosecution recalls Wendi. Redirect. Prosecution. Was I here? I don't know if I was here. Was I here? Is that June Chimda? She looks Thai. Is that her? Oh yeah, she looks Thai. She Thai? Because Catherine McBanwell, she's like Filipino, right? I think I'm here. Defense. Oh, prosecution redirect of Wendi Adelson. Okay, we're here.
But Jeffrey Lacoste's name did come up while you were in the interview room being interviewed in reference to the shooting, right?
Jane McPherson brought him up.
She was in the room with.
Oh my God, I'm gonna mold. Am I here or not? I don't know if I'm here or not. Oh, it's like it's all mixed up. Show transcript. Ah, yes, we have a transcript. Okay, now I can go back to the previous video. Hold on, let me go back to the previous video and I can see where we ended. Previous video. Blah, 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 blah. June was interviewed without being told, and then in this trial said the transcript could be wrong. Katie was targeted. What does that mean? Wendi also said her transcript was wrong in this trial. Donna should have gone to Vietnam after the opening. That's what I was saying. I was like, well, I don't know why Donna waited so long. She should have went way sooner. But I'm glad she waited. Thank goodness. Okay. Okay, here's where we're at.
Do you recall?
All right, give me a second. We are right here, and then if I show the transcript, I can figure out where we are in the other one. Okay, give me a second. Jewish foster care. Yeah, let's look for that. Jewish foster care. Oh, we're right here. No? Oh, wait, is there another redirect? Oh my God, this is actually pretty long. Okay, well, let me use the bathroom really quick, guys. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. Oh, that sounds so good. Oh, I miss eating that. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. If I get grilled cheese and tomato soup, I have to make sure the tomato soup is like dairy-free one. And then grilled cheese, I just can't eat grilled cheese. But because the vegan cheese is like, it's like really expensive. But oh, that sounds so good. I used to have this machine back from like the early 2000s. It's this machine where it's like you put the bread, the cheese in there, and then the bread on top, and then you close it, and then it cuts the bread in half for you into like triangles, and then it grills it, or it like toasts it. It's like really good. Yummy. Okay. Guys, if you guys are new here, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, and I will be back in 1 minute, and we'll listen to the rest of this. Not too long, but there's a little bit more here, and Jeffrey Lacoste, we might do maybe like a different day. We'll see. Also, we have a new true crime video that's out that I posted. I think I posted it yesterday. It's out now. It's in storytelling format. Check it out. And it's a case that I'm like, I got like super like involved in like within the past month. I don't know. I was like super interested in the story. And I want to share with you guys. So check it out. A grilled cheese maker. We had one too. We used to make waffles in it. Oh, I had a waffle one as well. The waffle maker. Yummy. Wendi sitting back counting her inheritance. Yeah. Dad's probably going to die soon. Donna, she's in her 70s. Go to jail. You know, she might pass away soon as well. Charlie, bye-bye. Ain't no one left. This could have been her ultimate plan from the very beginning. Maybe. Does anyone know if the people having lunch with Wendi were interviewed by law enforcement? Oh, I'm sure they were. But, yeah, I'm sure they were. Just to make sure that she was actually at the lunch. Oh, gosh. Fucking chest hurt. All right, y'all. This is where we left off. The Jewish Foster Care Center with Wendi Adelson.
Specific foster care that she was requesting be called in the event that the children had no place to go and were going to be going into the custody of the state.
She did suggest a specific foster care agency.
A Jewish-run foster care agency.
A Jewish foster care.
Okay. How many times have the kids visited Dan's parents since this murder?
Many. It'd be hard to count.
Countless times?
Countless times.
How many times have they seen him in the last year?
We had a visit with Danny's dad and the boy's cousin this summer. We've had a lot of Skype visits. They do live in Canada, so it makes it.
Wait, I could have sworn Dan Markel's mom did an interview recently, and she was like, I hadn't seen them for like the last like 6 years or something. Isn't that what she said? She didn't see them for the last 6 years? A long time? She said they saw each other countless of times. Cousins.
A little bit harder to have in-person visitation, but every time they've asked for it, we've arranged it.
Every time they've asked for a visit, you've arranged it?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, George is onto
How
something.
many times have they seen him in the last 5 years?
Again.
Countless?
As in the last 5 years, that overlaps with the time when they tried to put them in foster care. So since we've reestablished relations, we've seen them about twice a year, whenever they come down to Florida.
So in the last 5 years, they've seen him how many times? 2 or 3 times a year?
About that.
Has this been a major issue between you and Dan Markel's parents? This issue of them having access to the kids?
The issue of them trying to put them in foster care is a major
No,
issue.
ma'am, that's not my question.
I'm sorry.
Hasn't the issue of them trying to get access to your kids been a major issue? At least for them.
Since they tried to put the children in foster care, yes. Before that, it was not a problem.
Are you familiar with their work across the street of the legislature trying to get bills passed to give grandparents rights to see kids?
I'm familiar with their grandparents' legislation, but it's actually unconstitutional.
Okay. Are you mad? Are you angry that according to your brother's theory, he and your mom have known who killed your children's father since 2014, and you weren't told who it was?
I'm more angry that somebody killed my children's father.
So you're not mad about that they knew this whole time? That's what they're saying.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
That's the theory of the defense in this case, is that he's known the whole time. Your brother's known what happened to Dan. Does that make you angry?
I'm angry about so many things, it's hard to
Is that one of them?
separate them.
Well, try.
I'm confused.
Gonorrhea? Are you trying to make it sound like gonorrhea or diarrhea? Oh boy, where is this name gonorrhea coming from?
It's hard to process.
And apparently, according to his lawyer, these killers had threatened to kill your brother's family members as well. Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
And that would be you, right?
It would.
Were you told that a specific threat had been made by the same people that had killed your ex-husband to kill your brother's family members?
I was not told.
Would that have been information you would have liked to know back in 2014?
Yes.
Would you have made the same decision to move down to South Florida, closer to the killers?
No, I would not.
And even after the killers were arrested in 2016, you weren't told that that's what was going on the whole time.
I found out yesterday.
No further questions.
Members of the jury are being instructed to disregard the comment of the witness as to the constitutionality of any portion of the Florida statutes. You may step down. Well, Ms. Adelson.
Okay, so that was the redirect, but then they do bring her back in. So after that, we'll listen to Jeffrey Lacoste at some point. I want to focus on Wendi today. Wendi. Prosecution recalls Wendi. Defense cross, and then redirect. Okay, this is pretty short. This is 5 minutes. Let's just watch this.
Say it calls Wendi Adelson.
Oh God, look at Charlie. Look at Charlie over there. Oh my God, look at Charlie. What kind of bag is that? You got a Chanel bag over there? What she got? Yeah, Chanel, Louis Vuitton? I can't see. Hey, Russian, how are you doing today? How's it going? Who's whispering?
Adelson, you remain under oath. You may be seated.
Oh, this is the attorney that... Doesn't she look like Gwyneth Paltrow? Like, a little bit. I think she did the... We listened to her in... Wait, did I listen to her in opening statements or closing statements? I don't know. I feel like I listened to her. She was like something. No, I think we did listen to opening statements. Oh my God. I'm going crazy. Yeah, we listened to her. I thought she looked like Gwyneth Paltrow. Yeah, we listened to her in opening. Oh my gosh, guys, my memory. It's a COVID brain, man.
Ms. Adelson, we've got 2 points we need clarification on from you. When we talked about your relationship with Jeffrey Lacasse, we talked about a occasion on July 13th, 2014. It would have been the Sunday before the murder. And on that occasion, did you, at your residence that evening, in the context of discussing the relocation issue with involving you and your children moving to South Florida, did you say that Charlie, your brother, this defendant, had explored all options to resolve the problem, including hiring a hitman, and it would cost either $15,000 or $50,000?
Oh, this is by her ex-boyfriend saying this. Hi, what's up, Go Lucky? How are you? Hello, hello. Oh, what's her name? Did someone say her name? Oh, I got deleted. She looks like Kyle Richards' sister. No, not the messy one. What was her name again? The one who, yeah, they would have like crazy fights on camera. What was her name again? Oh, that's Sarah Dugan. All right. Hi, Sarah. We got Sarah here. We got Georgia here.
No. And did you have a conversation with Jeffrey Lacasse at your residence that night where you said you wanted to share something in confidence with him?
No.
Did you ever say that your brother had seriously hired a hitman where you weren't repeating the joke? You were serious. All right. And second point for clarification involves that dinner where you got sick at the dinner table. You recall which evening I'm speaking of?
I do.
This would have been about 2 weeks to a month after the homicide, I believe.
I don't know, man. It's suspicious to me that Wendi would tell Jeff this when they were already either broken up or on the precipice of breaking up. Because I really am wondering if Wendi all along was really planning on pinning it on her brother, her mom, just in case if anything went down. Because, you know, she wants to make sure that the kids do not go to the Markel family. I feel like Wendi was already kind of like planting seeds everywhere. Because apparently Wendi told multiple people, and even like the Geek Squad guy, something about the TV and like the hiring the hitman that her brother said. I recall hearing that. And then also her telling her, you know, ex-boyfriend or, you know, soon to be ex-boyfriend about what her brother said. It's like, I feel like she's just planting seeds everywhere. That's the vibe that I'm getting.
Okay.
Oh, Kim, yeah, Kim Richards.
On that occasion, did you ever tell Jeffrey Lacasse that Charlie had referred to the dinner as a celebration dinner?
No.
Did you ever tell Jeffrey Lacasse that it was a celebration dinner?
No.
No further questions.
All right, defense is coming back.
Good afternoon. During your interrogation, do you recall Jeffrey Lacasse's name coming up?
Yes.
And do you recall that it was Jane McPherson who brought up his name, not you?
Yes, correct.
And do you recall, as a result of his name being brought up, he was considered a suspect?
Yes.
And do you recall that Detective Isom asked you a lot of questions about him?
Yes.
And he asked you about his car?
Yes.
And he asked you about his travel schedule?
Yes.
And he asked you for his information so that he could speak with him, correct?
Correct.
But you didn't bring up his name, right?
No.
You didn't try to frame Jeffrey Lacasse for any murder, right?
Absolutely not.
In fact, Jane McPherson was the one who brought up his name, correct?
She was.
I have no further questions.
Who's Jane McPherson, though? Is Jane McPherson a friend of Wendi? Because maybe that's Wendy's skill right there. Not saying things directly, but just planting seeds everywhere. Jeff is going to be the fall guy. Yeah, who's Jane McPherson? I guess we can look her up really quick. What is this? Her useful idiot, Jane McPherson. Hold on, this is a Reddit post. Is Jane McPherson someone that helped her with the book? Her friend? Bless you, thank you. Every time I sneeze, it hurts my chest, man. Oh.
Question.
Please approach.
Jane McPherson. Is this one that she wrote papers with? A colleague, maybe? I only see one mention of Jane McPherson.
But Jeffrey Lacasse's name did come up while you were in the interview room being interviewed in reference to the shooting, right?
Jane McPherson brought him up.
She was in the room with you during the interview.
For some of it, not for the whole time.
Okay, but during the part where Jeffrey Lacasse's name came up, she was in the interview room with you.
Yes, she brought him up.
And this is the same interview that we've referenced previously where you were taken from the restaurant to be told about what happened with Dan.
Yes.
Nothing further.
You may step down, ma'am. Will Ms. Adelson be recalled by either the state or the defense again?
Certainly hope not, Your Honor.
You remain under subpoena.
All right. Do you guys know if Wendi Adelson testifies anymore after this? We're on day 2 right now. Day 2. And then afterwards, there's Jeffrey Lacasse. What happens on day 3? Day 3. Day 3. Oh, I love how they have chapters. Catherine McBanwell, dental assistant, someone named Erica Johnson, and the defendant. Oh, is Erica Johnson one of his girlfriends? Someone named Mary Hole, some sergeants. Okay, what happens on day 4? Sorry, I'm just trying to see what happens. This was a quick trial, actually. This trial only lasted like, what, 7 days or something? All right, what happens on day 4? Day 4, we got sergeant. We have undercover agent, no face shown. Isn't it wild? Did anyone else think the undercover agent sounded like a freaking cop? Like, sounded like a cop. Like, when he met up with Donna Adelson and when he was on the phone with Donna Adelson, he sounded like a cop. I was like, couldn't they get someone else? Like, I don't know, he straight up sounded like law enforcement to me. Oh, how many special agents did they have undercover? Oh, here's another one. Another undercover agent. Gosh. Oh, this is the day where they're playing all the phone calls, right? Wire call summary. Call from defendant to Donna Adelson. Defendant to Catherine McBanwell. Pictures. Oof. I think this was like a really rough day where they had all the calls playing. All right, day 4. What, day 5? What happened on day 5? Oh, defense attorney for Wendi was... Oh, it's Erica. Okay. That's who it was. Okay. Totally sound like law enforcement, right? I was like, nah, man, they sound like a cop. All right. Ooh, a bunch of more recorded calls. Oh, dude. Recorded calls. The bump is when they reference the bump, was that after when the undercover approached Donna Adelson, right? Pretending to be one of the hitman's like cousin or something like that to get the money. Like the blackmail thing. See, the crazy thing about that was that when they were being blackmailed, they didn't even go to the cops. If they truly were not involved, they would have just been to the cops like, hey, there are these like weird people that are, yeah, it's weird. They're trying to blackmail me. That is the bump. Okay. All right, the bump. All right, a bunch of oh my God, a bunch of recorded calls. Oof, not good. Day 5. Damn, I really wish I watched this trial live. Day 6. Day 6 part 1, day 6 part 2. Oh man. It's pretty smart splitting it up. Okay. Day 6 part 1. Charlie goes up, right? Do we have chapters here? We do have chapters. Court begins. Prosecution cross-exam of defense witness Charlie Adelson. Oh man. All right, Charlie Adelson part 1. Day 6 part 2. Wait, why is this an hour long? This one's like 7 hours long. All right, let's see how long this one is. Charlie Adelson continues. Oh no, there's no chapters. Boo. Under direct examination. Defense witness Charlie Adelson continues in direct examination. Direct examination. Oh man, I just want to see how long Charlie's thing is. What happens on day 7? Day 7. Oh man, he's on the stand for a long time. For Charlie Adelson, what do we want to listen to? The direct examination of Charlie Adelson? Because it's the state that calls him, right?
You have to do it with Charlie to get to his parents and his sister.
Oh god, I was like, where's that noise coming from? Okay, Charlie Adelson takes a stand for day 2 of defendant testimony. Defense cross with Charlie Adelson. When the state rests, did the defense have any expert testimonies or anything like that? The cross? No, the cross would be by his own team. Defense cross. Yeah, the cross is by his own team. So we should listen to the direct examination. What day is this? Day 7. Day 7. Ooh, this is going to be a long one. Day 7. All right, what happens on day 8? That's what I was thinking. Wendi planted a seed in Jane. That's what I was thinking. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what happened. All right, and then, wow. What a quick trial. Arguments outside the presence of the jury. Prosecution closing argument. Court is on break. Defense closing argument. So the defense, I guess, like most of their witnesses already went during the states when they presented their case, I guess. Oh man, how long did it take for them to? How long did it take for the jury to deliberate? Let's see. How long did they deliberate for? Like 2 hours? 3 hours. Wow, they delivered for 3 hours. Oh man. His face changed so much when they read the verdict. Like, look at this face. This is not the face that we saw when he was sitting there while sister was testifying. Okay, he looks so smug. He was giggling and laughing. Oh boy. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we will watch Jeff Lacoste, Jeff Lacoste's testimony, and then you guys wanted me to listen to the interrogation as well, right? We'll listen to both of those. And then afterwards, we'll listen to Charlie Adelson's testimony on a different day, okay? On a different day. 3 hours, which include their lunchtime. The only witness for Charlie was Wendy's, defense attorney. Okay. He looks like a crack. I can't imagine him sleeping. I mean, this is stressful as fuck. All right, guys. Guys, thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here. Today, we covered a little bit of Donna Adelson making her first court appearance. And she'll have another judge assigned to her case. We'll see what happens with that. And then we watch Wendi Adelson's testimony today. But I don't know. I'm learning a lot about this case. I haven't really done like a super deep dive on it. I was interested in it when I think on like Court TV, Vinnie Politan was covering this. And I was like, oh, wow, that's actually like bizarre. But I did hear about this a long time ago. A couple years back when I watched this like true crime video, I remember hearing about how the hitman and like the girl, Catherine McVanois, were like, arrested and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, are they not going to get the family? That's crazy. But a couple years passed and I completely forgot that this was still ongoing. But yeah, we'll definitely watch the rest of the stuff. And if you guys have any other recommendations, just feel free to post it in the Discord. We do have a true crime section. Feel free to post videos on there. And then if there's any other cases that you guys are interested in, let me know. I do want to do a video about Caitlin Armstrong because I'm really sad that the trial was not streamed live. I was looking forward to watching it, but I want to make a video about Caitlin Armstrong because she is bizarre. That whole thing with her, yoga teacher, she escapes to Costa Rica, she gets plastic surgery, she tries to escape another time running on foot. She was training, and that whole thing was just so bizarre to me. I want to cover Caitlin Armstrong. So if there's any other case that you guys might be interested in, let me know. I do have a new video posted. It's about Suzanne Morphew. And I don't know. That case has just been really interesting to me. It's still an unsolved case, but, things aren't looking good for a certain person. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. They recovered her body about 2 months ago. So maybe they'll reopen their investigation and we'll see what happens with that. Oh yeah, Sarah Boone coming up. Yeah, I don't think Sarah Boone's trial is gonna happen next month. It's scheduled to happen in like 3 weeks or something. Actually, let's check on Sarah Boone. Has she been doing anything? I know she's been writing letters in the family court, and the only way I have access to those is if I made an account, but I have to get a notary sign verifying that I'm the owner of the account, and that way I have access to like Sarah Boone and all those other letters. But I'm like, man, I'm too lazy. But yeah, I don't have access to the letters that she wrote in the family trial one or in the family court. But let's look up her criminal court. Let's see if there's any new updates or anything like that. Oh, and then wait, actually, do you guys want to watch a little bit of Chad Dorman really quick? Hold on. I want to watch a little bit of Chad Dorman. He did have a motion hearing. I think it was like yesterday or today. It's super short though, because I don't have access to the full hearing, but I think Court TV did like a quick little upload. Okay, so Sarah Boone, criminal felony, status open. Let's see, Sarah Boone. What's going on with Sarah Boone? Sarah Boone. Oh, that's right. The hearing was pushed to January. The trial was pushed to January. I forgot about that. Yeah, so it was scheduled for December, but now it's pushed to January. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna happen in January. I think her lawyer, Mr. Winston, has a lot of catching up to do and hiring experts and all that. It's a lot of work. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, electric copy sent to private attorney. Order setting pretrial conference, court minutes. Yeah, I think we're already pretty caught up with the Sarah Boone stuff. Yeah, we are. Okay. So Sarah's Boone trial, it's slated to happen in January, although I highly doubt it. And then what about Alexi Treviso? Any updates with Alexi Treviso? New Mexico teen who discarded her baby in the hospital bin. Treviso. I saw something about like a polygraph test. I think she took a polygraph test recently. Although I'm actually like, I didn't even know they even care about polygraph tests nowadays. Let's see. Something about a sealed document, notice of polygraph examination. I don't know, like, do we care about polygraph? All right, so nothing going on with Alexi Treviso. I did see that Alex Murdaugh did plead guilty to the state financial crime stuff. I haven't watched it yet, though. Chad, let's look up. Koberger. Someone in my chat mentioned that Koberger, did the judge grant having cameras? And then, let's see what's going on with Jamie Lee Komorowski. Young woman who was drinking and driving and then crashed into the newlywed on the golf cart. Let's see what's up with her. Jamie Komorowski. Last update we heard from her was when she was crying because they like denied her bond or something, or her bail. Is this the one? Oh wait, no, this is wrongful death lawsuit. Wait, no, not this one. Pending. Why does this one have so many different case numbers attached to it? Oh, where's that noise coming from? I don't think there's anything going on with her right now, right? Indictment 920. Okay, yeah, we're just waiting to hear more details. I think that's about it. Oh, and I wanted to read back to like the Depp v. Heard stuff. I did want to read the Debbie Lloyd notes with Johnny Depp and stuff. I haven't gotten to that yet, but one day we'll get there. All right, let's watch this. History. Exactly. Wendi also wanted to know when Jeffrey was leaving town. Jeffrey leaving correlated with the murder time and his route passed by Dan's house. Okay, I can't wait to listen to the interview. I am in the dark and all of that. Oh my God, are you following the case of the Hollywood man? Are you talking about the man who's accused of murdering and dismembering his wife, and her parents are still missing? That guy? I am, because I don't think there's been any updates. Hi, Brian. How are you doing today? Hello. He posted something on TikTok and just seemed sort of unhinged. And he's apparently like the son of like a very famous, well-known Hollywood agent or something like that. Oh, Shiro says hi. Oh, it's actually glad that you guys didn't see me. I actually got COVID. I think I got COVID like the Saturday or Sunday. and it was pretty fucking bad. I'm still like suffering from the COVID. So it's a good thing you guys didn't come see me, or like we didn't see each other. COVID sucks, dude. Hi Storm, how are you doing today? How's it going? Okay, I want to watch this actually. It's really short. Oh, sorry. Oh, that was loud. Sorry, I forgot Court TV. Their audio is always superb. Sometimes Law and Crime, their audio is like a little bit jank. Sorry, guys.
Like he was just angry, generally speaking.
He was every day. There wasn't a day.
Okay, sorry. So this is oh god, this case is just so sad. It really makes my blood boil. Ohio dad, Chad Dorman. There was a body cam of him released. When was this again? This was a couple months back. Was this back in July? Essentially murdered his 3 little boys in front of his wife. Wife was untouched. Stepdaughter, teenager, untouched. But yeah, it's crazy. It's wild. Oh, Shiro, you say hi to Dennis? I don't know if you can hear Shiro. He's making noises right now. Hi, enjoyer of the crescent moon. Hello, nice to meet you. Hello. How's it going? Ohio, that you're saying good morning in Japanese. Ohio. COVID had me hard. Yeah, COVID sucks, man. Ugh, I hate it. How's your day been? Chill. Been chilling, you know. I'm 410 right now in ranked Overwatch. Ugh. Anyways, molding. Okay, so sorry. Back to this. So Chad Dorman makes an appearance for court for a motion hearing, and if you guys have access, or if you guys find the entire court hearing video, post it in the Discord. I think I tried looking for it really quickly and I didn't find it. So I'll watch Court TV. I love Court TV.
You felt like he was just angry, generally speaking.
He was every day. There wasn't a day he didn't yell at him.
This is his neighbor. I remember hearing about the neighbor as well. The neighbor was also mentioning how, I think the neighbor did another interview on TV talking about how Chad Dorman, the defendant, like would be like yelling and screaming at his kids, like he had anger issues or something. Oh, well, I don't think he meant to shoot her. I know that he meant to shoot one of his sons, and she blocked him, and then like it went through her hands. But yeah. So I feel so bad for the mom. It's so sad. 3, 4, and 7 years old. Like, how could you fucking do that, dude? I don't know. Something about it just tells me that he was trying to get at her, and he did it by the worst means possible way. You know, having her lose her 3 little boys.
His wife and kids out there.
What would he yell?
All kinds of shit. He was just angry. He knew what he was doing.
And how dare he have the audacity to cry like that? How do you have the audacity to cry like that? You did this, sir. You did this. And it seemed like you planned this, because we read the, what did we read again? I don't think we read the rest of it. We read some document where it seems like he was planning this. Now, he doesn't give the reason why, but this was planned for a little bit. Like, how could you cry? How could you sit there and just be crying like that? What are you shedding tears for yourself?
He planned it. It was premeditated. He shouldn't have a bond. He should never see daylight.
And you know what angers me so much? The fact that his dad did an interview. Oh my God, I forgot what the dad said. His dad did an interview essentially like, I don't know. It just seems like he wasn't really accepting that his son was. Oh, fuck. I felt like he was making excuses for his son. We had to pull the interview. I hated. Oh my God, I hated that so much. I was like, you know what? Just don't say anything. Just don't even give an interview. Just don't say anything. Because I think the dad still had like, I don't know, positive feelings towards his son after finding out that he murdered the 3 grandchildren. But like, ugh. Hey, Spood.
Again, ever. He should never see daylight again, ever in his life. And I think they should execute him the same way they did the same way he did his sons is the way he needs to go out.
And he is facing the death penalty. That was Chad Dorman's former neighbor. Dorman is charged with one of the most horrendous crimes that we've really covered here at Court TV. The alleged planned execution-style murder of his 3 sons, ages 3, 4, and 7 years old. Let's take a look at some of the body cam footage from when Dorman was arrested by police. It may be hard to fathom because he's so calm.
Yeah, he's so calm. He's so nonchalant. And he's like, oh, well, like, can I, like, get up? Because, like laying like this, it actually hurts me. It's like, how do you think you're, like, what? Are you fucking, I don't know, the guy's, ugh, I hate him.
But the video that we are about to show you is from just moments after the alleged murder spree.
Yeah. Is that what the dad said? He's not a violent person. I was trying to find the dad's interview because it pissed me off so much. I'm like, dude, just don't say anything. Just shut up then. like honestly, your 3 grandchildren are gone. And you're gonna, I don't know. I felt like he was like vouching for him or something. But we did find like an old court thing where apparently he did attack his dad and that charges were dropped or something.
What are you doing, man?
Hey, are you copying all this?
Can I roll over? I ain't gonna hurt you. I ain't gonna hurt nobody. You got anything on you? No, I ain't got nothing, man. Phone, that's it.
I ain't gonna hurt nobody. What did you just do?
I ain't mad. I ain't nothing. Just make sure that dog don't come out. I don't think he'll bite you.
You can hear the mom in the background.
He won't bite you. What's going on, man? Nothing. Can I stand up? It's kind of uncomfortable. I'm gonna get you here in a second. I ain't running away. You can do whatever you want.
The Doberman was in court today for a motions hearing ahead of his trial, which is set to begin July of next year. And it's important to note, he is facing the death penalty, which has become a rather complicated issue in Ohio. Scripps News Cincinnati breaks it down for us.
Death penalty cases are different than any other case that you will find in Ohio. Now, it starts normal enough with a jury trial. If you are convicted there, that's where it begins to be unique, because then the jury is asked whether you deserve the death penalty or not.
Oh, I think I found it. I don't know what this is. Is it someone else?
48 hours after a father confesses to murdering his 3 sons, we are hearing from Chad Dorman's father tonight. A judge said Chad Dorman's bond at $20 million, which is the highest bond ever set by prosecutors. Chad's father, Keith, spoke to me on the phone tonight, who says he is angry at his son, but at the same time is defending his son's character and feels something bad happened to him.
They won't let you talk to your son? Keith Dorman, now living in Florida, said he came back to Ohio Thursday night after he found out what happened that day on Laurel Lindale Road in Monroe Township, but said he's not allowed to talk to his son. Chad Dorman confessed to shooting and killing his 3 sons execution style. Chad's father tells us this is completely out of character for Chad, saying his son isn't violent.
That's what I was feeling. Like spousal revenge, but we don't know what's going on behind closed doors though. We don't have any details about that yet. But maybe she was thinking about leaving him or something. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
I don't know what went on in his personal life. It's a shocker to us. We didn't see it coming. He just snapped. I could tell in his eyes he's hollow inside. That wasn't Chad standing at the arraignment. I mean, that was not him. Contrary to what the elder Dorman said, this is what Assistant Claremont County Prosecutor David Gass said in court Friday.
We know that one of the boys was able to flee into a field near the home. And again, we know from his admission, father hunted that.
I don't even know how you could even support your son at this point. Or even lend any words to support or even say anything. Just like, how do you think the mom's going to feel hearing about this after your son just murdered my 3 little boys? Like, you could just not say anything. I feel like, I don't know, you're just adding more salt to the wound, you know?
Boy down.
Hi, Mel.
Drug him back to the property and executed him in front of witnesses.
On Friday, we found out prosecutors charged Chad Dorman with domestic violence in 2010 for allegedly choking his father, but authorities dropped the charge. Keith Dorman told me he can't figure out why his son would have done this. A lot of stuff out there that could make you flip, and I don't think there's enough research on that, alluding to the possibility his son Chad could be suffering from mental illness, but also said, I don't know if it was financial. I don't know if it was marital. I don't know if it's work-related. I don't know. Keith defended his son, saying he was a good kid and a good father, but...
How could you say that? Oh my God, this blows my mind. I think everything else that was mentioned before, I didn't think it was that bad. Like him saying that, like, oh, I think my son snapped. It doesn't look like him. He looks different. Maybe it's financial. Maybe it's marital. I don't know what it was. I think all of those statements were like, okay. Like, I'm like, it's okay. But him saying that, like, he's a good son, he's a good father. Oh my God, he is obviously not a good father. How could you even say that? Like, I feel like you're just better off just not saying anything.
No. Keith defended his son, saying he was a good kid and a good father, but said, I don't want nobody to badmouth him because this is a terrible thing he did, and I'm angry at him for it, but there's something deeper inside. That's all it is.
But he doesn't even know that. He literally just said he doesn't know if it was this, X, Y, Z. You literally don't even know. I don't know. The fact that he doesn't even know what was the cause of it, like he's I don't know. It's just wild to me. I feel so bad for the mom. If I was the mom and I heard that coming out of his dad's mouth, oh God, dude. I'd be crazy. Woo. Okay, guys. Oh, now I feel bad. I feel like we ended on a bad note. You know, I feel like I should always have something lined up at the end, ready to go, just so we don't end up on like a bad note. I don't know. Now I'm just angry now. I'm just mad. What else we got? Do I have anything in my lineup? Anything cute we can watch really quick? Anything happy? You guys have anything cute or happy we can watch? He should feel the same for the dead emotions. He should feel the same for the deep emotions for his grandsons. I don't know. But you know, maybe the news media took his words out of context. I don't know, but he still said it. Because I would have wished to have heard it from his mouth. But I thought he did do an interview where we did hear from him. Let's see. Much later. This is dark. Yeah, it's like super dark. Afin Man, your mama fucking did it. Let's see. Do I have anything happy to watch? I don't think so. I don't have anything happy to watch. I used to end on like random cooking videos that were really cute. But I forgot what is the name of the channel. We must have something happy on my timeline. I feel like everything on my timeline is just like true crime, politics, horror, some gaming stuff. Horror movie recaps, sometimes food stuff, sometimes anime stuff. Marry Me Chicken. What is Marry Me Chicken? I don't know. I don't have anything happy to end with. The Amber Flop? What's the Amber Flop? Bose used to bring out a silly video of a pig. Wait, what? There's this like cute little otters in Japan. Otters in Japan that are adorable. Is it this one? This one right here. We could watch this really quick. Look how cute they are. Oh my God, this guy looks so fat, but I think it's because he's like splooting on the table. They're so cute. Watch Elaine. No, Elaine's gonna make me mold, okay? Elaine frustrates me. There you go, happy. Why are they running away? Come back. The Marry Me Chicken is just Tuscan chicken. I've always wanted to make Marry Me Chicken. Is it really that good, or is it just overhyped? Oh, look at these guys, are so cute. They're like little doggos. Are they gonna eat it? I love watching them eat. I love these guys. I guess in Japan, are you allowed to have otters? Because I feel like a lot of the otter videos are the ones from Japan. Salmon cake. Yeah, the birthday ones are so cute, especially when they're fighting over it. Oh my God, look at this guy standing up. Oh my God. So cute. They're so cute. Are they gonna eat the popcorn? I want to see them eating the popcorn. Are they allowed to eat popcorn? Oh. Google skip Fred McMurray. He was famous, funny kid in the 60s and 70s. I've never heard of them before. Yeah, they're so adorable. Dog thought his owner left home and then was surprised. Why, was the owner hiding in the house somewhere? Here you go. Oh, this is the one I watched. The breakfast buffet. This one. Where he was eating. Oh my God, they're so cute when they eat. Look at the way they eat. Look at their little hands. Yeah, they have a pool where the otters swim in. It's so therapeutic to watch them swim. Coffee chicken? No, I have not. I'm not a fan of coffee, but I like coffee food, like coffee cake, coffee ice cream. I'd be down to try coffee chicken. My God, they're so chunky. They have an outdoor, patio pool. Yeah, they swim around and stuff. which is wild to me because in Japan, I feel like usually houses are really small and like pools in Japan. That's crazy. Hey, look at the way he's eating. So cute. Look at his little arms. His little arms are so adorable. All right, guys, that's the happy video for today. All right, we ended on a happy note. There you go. So yeah, we will watch Jeff Lacoste's interview, I guess. Interview slash maybe watch his testimony as well. Or wait, should I watch the interview first or the testimony first? Is it in order? Should we? Oh no, maybe we should do testimony. No, we'll do interview first and then testimony. How about that order? Because I think someone told me that the interview was like 2 hours long, so maybe we'll watch that, and then we'll watch the testimony, and then on a different day we'll watch Charlie Adelson's testimony because I do want to see him go up there. The interview, okay. So that's will be our plan for for the next couple stream times. Interview first. Okay, everyone says interview first. All right, I think interview was posted. Let's see, Taxi. Is this it? The interrogations of Sherlock Holmes like Professor Jeffrey Lacoste. What is the title? Oh, and I saw that you posted the body cam for the Ruby Frankie thing. Should I watch it or no? Because I think we watch all the highlights and stuff with Pam, the one who is like, oh, like, yeah, I like work for Connections. It's like, bitch, you're the president of Connections. We just looked you up. Okay. I mean, I just want to collect some information, so I think the listening to testimony could be good. Guys, yeah, I try to take care of my fucking chest thing. I don't know. I'll let you guys know if I die. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a good one. Take care. Thank you so much for hanging out. Again, if you guys enjoyed the stream, don't forget to like it. If you're new here, subscribe. Thanks for watching on Twitch as well. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for your support. Thanks for lurking. Most importantly, having me in the background. And thank you so much for engaging in the chats. I do appreciate that. I hope you all have a good one. We have a new YouTube video that's out. Storytelling, true crime stuff. Check it out if you're into it. And other than that, there's another case that I want to do another storytelling video on that I'm like super interested in. But if you guys have anything else you want to recommend, let me know. But I hope you guys have a good one. Yeah, take care. See you later. I mean, I feel fine. It's just the lingering cough thing. And then anytime I cough, sneeze, maybe even fart, like it like hurts my chest. Okay, anything that I do that requires like, I don't know, it just hurts my chest. It's really annoying. And I feel like it's cyclic because every time I sneeze or like cough or laugh, right, it just hurts more and more. And it's like not recovering. You guys ever had like a scab on your lip? Or like I used to get something right here where it's like it like starts like ripping, and every time when it heals and you like open your mouth, it just rips all over again, and then it heals and it rips, it heals and it rips, it heals and it rips. It's like ongoing because I use my mouth so much, right? You guys ever had that happen to you before? It's like super annoying. Inhale some saltwater vapor. Should I just go by the ocean, go to Santa Monica Beach, and just breathe in the air? I do have an air humidifier. But I don't think it's a lung thing. I think it's just like a muscle thing. Like I just keep tearing the muscle every time I like cough and stuff, which is like, I don't know, it's annoying. But I don't know, we'll see. I mean, maybe I'll go to the doctors. I don't know, we'll see. I'm not looking forward to it. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see y'all later. Y'all take care now. Have a good one. I might stream on Twitch later. We'll see. Just gaming stuff. Bye. Oh, if you missed the stream, I'll have the stream uploaded. I'll have the video edited, I guess. Maybe I don't know. I don't think we're going to do much editing, though, because it was mostly, like, not just, like, random banter. It was, like, we actually talked about the case. So I'll have the video chopped up, maybe, and then we'll upload it on the YouTube channel if you guys just want to see what we covered today. But other than that, have a good one.